God, no! Get away! Get away!
Sorry about that, folks.
That's a very crude way to start the show.
Well, I
Turn off
thought
all your...
I'd stick with our recent shenanigans. We've had some type of ugly mother fudder sticking its face in the camera the last few shows in a
We
row.
got a bug infestation over there at CAALLLL Boba Hooks.
Yeah, we got a feline infestation here as well. I see we got a
they're bug catchers. That's what I heard. Pest control.
Jonesy's cousin. How's everybody doing? Hope you're doing well, Johnny.
Yeah, pretty good. Nice, relaxed Saturday. Got to sleep in this morning. Had a bit of a swim and watched some videos on YouTube, and then fell asleep in the bed, and then woke up, realized I'd fallen asleep watching the videos, and went, I'm not going anywhere other than to get up to today's show.
Getting close now, almost at number 50.
Yeah, it's coming up.
Releasing a 2-disc DVD special edition shortly
Double
afterwards.
gold, platinum, laserdisc.
Commentaries on every episode.
Yeah. One of the commentaries
really
is
annoying.
on backwards masking. You're going to have to play it in reverse on laserdisc, which is not easy.
Imagine how annoying it would be listening to a commentary from two people commentating on themselves, commentating on things. And here's the bit where I spoke about the alien.
Here's the bit where we talked about the aliens and the predators.
Yeah, we're keeping on theme here, but we're moving away from the movies momentarily, and we're going to talk about some toy merch here, some Kenner
We've gone
goodness.
somewhat chronological because we've gone 79 original movie, then mid 80s movies, and then we're on to the 90s.
We're looking at it closely, and I love alien toys. Had a lot of the old Kenner ones growing up. They were affordable.
They
I
were.
think me and my cousin, between us, it felt like we had most of the line, except for the vehicles. The vehicles were never really obtainable over here.
I didn't see any of them at retail, just the figures.
Yeah, but the figures, so colorful. Not maybe quite as colorful as Johnny's renderings here that we have in this.
Some of them are more colorful, like that bull alien.
Yeah, I wish they could hold, the pew-pews as easily as the ones in your pictures can.
Yeah, that'd be cool. It's almost like the AI seemed to know that Badger was going to make a little contribution to the show because we get a little mini car in there in the image with the aliens, and I didn't ask for that. It just randomly turned up in there, so it's like the computer knew.
Company knew. The company knew this whole time.
Yeah. I like the ones in the bottom right here. They're done like little kind of like reaction figure style, as if they're like just military dudes, but with the alien heads. As if they're like real dollar store nasty ones.
5 POAs, they can't hold their weapons, right?
Yeah, exactly. But that seems like the sort of thing you might find in the shops back there, like dollar shop, just a weird military alien head dude.
See a very cool actual Kenner Mantis alien in the background there as well.
Courtesy of eBay. I have a real one on the way in the mail, possibly sitting at the shops now, but that one, I grabbed the image off eBay because I found a good high quality image. I'm like, that'll look good, blow it up because it's got that cool transparent plastic, the green and that.
Very cool. Very cool. Yeah, I'm looking forward to looking at and talking about all these wacky designs here for these aliens figures.
And I did pick up, I had 2 or 3 back in the 90s that my mate, he bought them at retail and a couple of years later traded it to me in one of our various swaps of stuff we didn't want. We used to just trade stuff. When you're a kid and you don't have much money, you can trade things and you go, well, this is worth this much and this is worth this much. And here's some dodgy old Wonder Woman annual I don't want. And here's a figure I don't want. Give me something good I do want. But he traded them to me and I picked up a few over the last few weeks. I got a bull alien last year, but I couldn't find the damn thing. It's out the back somewhere. And I've got a bunch I picked up this month, and I've made a couple of short clips and photos and videos in it. But before we get into the main toy thing, just a bit of background on the kind of media and idea of what they were going for with this thing. Before it was Kenner Aliens, they called it Operation Aliens, and this was like some images from the style guide, like, and you know what they make up for people that are potentially doing licensing and media and all that, to show this is the style and look of the characters, the Marines, the aliens, to be adapted into different products. So they're called Operation Aliens, and then even the text here is like, for official use only. It's an alert, not a test. Aliens from outer space have invaded, and but it's just promoting the products. A nice big binder. And so you can see up the very top left, it's got the 20th Century Fox logo, being a Fox brand and all that. And it tells you here, like, the Kenner figures did exist at this point. So this is like a whole media branding that was meant to go along with that. And a couple of images there that were in this. Here you can see a nice Queen alien thing art, and then that poster image up there of the Marines. That got made into a full-size poster, that one. And what else did they do? Yes, I'll just skip ahead a moment here. There we go. Yeah, I can see it full screen there. So quite nice artwork. But they used that same style, this animation style that they use for the figure line, for the other media and branding, like, because they made like a board game and other stuff and that. But I'll just jump back here. So before we get more into that, I'll just read a bit of boring text, and then we'll get into some more cool images. So Kenner did the original Alien back in 1979 as a big 18-inch one, and it had various gimmicks and all that. And then into the 90s, we got Operation Aliens. There was some stationery, T-shirts. I got a couple of images later coming up of those. Figure cases, some other miscellaneous merch and stuff that was proposed, but some didn't get made. An animated ad for the toy line. A commercial was produced but never aired. There was no show. Where one may have been proposed, and there was a bit of shenanigans and myths about that. Like, I've read up the history of that in a couple of blogs. All that got made was some storyboards for an animated ad, just like the old Transformers ads, how they would show brief bits of animation for like 10 seconds, 20 seconds in the toys. It was going to be one of those ads. But because something turned up on eBay years later, official storyboards, people thought, oh, this is a lost pilot and lost media. So there was this myth for years that this pilot existed. It doesn't exist. It was never made. Even people from Fox came out and said that it never was going to be made. Kenner was the one that chose this animation style, and they kind of had a bit of a pitch, like, maybe we want to make an animation series as an extension of all this brand and stuff. But there's no, other than those brief still images from the small bit animation for a TV ad for the figure line, there was nothing else. It didn't go any further. Fox didn't want to do it. So that they didn't want to take an adult brand and do what other companies had done with the bloody, like, RoboCop and Terminator stuff, which is ironic because, you know, we've got all so many other adult R-rated films that got made into kids' lines. Like, why were they drawing the line at this particular one? So there were some Dark Horse trading cards, board game poster. Yeah, I've got some images coming up of those. Pretty much, yeah. So that animation footage was by a good old ACOM that worked on Transformers and The Simpsons. Hopefully, some of the better footage and not the glitchy stuff. And that's pretty much what I covered just then. So we'll skip over that. Oh, this guy here, I can't pronounce his name down the bottom. Will Megniot directed and produced the commercial shot. Confirmed it was solely for a TV commercial, not a pilot. Apparently, the reason was there were some changes in, like, camera technology or something right at that time, and they decided to go with some live action footage instead of that animation to use up these new cameras. I mean, that's what the official supposed story was, but who knows how true or not that is, but that's the scuttlebutt. But yeah, so Kenner made this pretty cool large-scale alien back in 1979 for the original film. And it's quite strange, really, that that this ever existed or was made, because the original Alien as a film was never marketed to children, and it was a serious science fiction film or space horror. So what do you reckon about this? I mean, it's an awesome toy, and it's worth a lot now, and it's apparently quite fragile. But just the idea that they actually made it to market before it didn't go too well and eventually got pulled off the market.
I think, and look, obviously, I cannot truly confirm or deny this, but I think this might be one of those early instances of that kind of unspoken acknowledgement that even though these type of movies are definitely not made for kids, there are still kids that are getting a chance to watch them and seeing them, whether that's from their parents, bringing them or whatnot. Something. The toy companies are aware. I think that
Yeah, they
the kids
definitely
know
know.
about
You
these
could call
things.
it brand awareness. Like I watched so many R-rated films as a kid, and it's not why I'm demented. So
And like we've spoken to each other plenty of times, but also in our grind friend group, we are aware of lots of other individuals who had a similar upbringing, and
yeah,
you're whether you're supposed to be watching this stuff or not, it doesn't really matter because you've watched it anyway and you know what it
yeah,
is.
yeah.
And
Hellraiser
look
and
at
Terminator.
and yeah, look, the company is aware enough to kind of realize this, so they're going to chance their arm and try and sell some stuff to kids. Now, I think though in the case of this original Kenner Alien, there was kind of controversy at the time. There were parents groups against it and stuff, and it didn't fly totally under the radar as maybe being something that.
I'm guessing this would be American parents groups. I don't know any European parents groups that would give a
Oh
shit.
yeah,
They'd be like,
of
"Oh, it's
course.
art. It's another toy. Who cares?"
Yeah, of course it was Americans. Sorry, Americans, but
And
sometimes some of your folks could be pretty uptight about that type of stuff.
yeah, and it's a very realistic movie, accurate looking alien. They didn't kidify or toyify. It wasn't like, I mean, this is Kenner. It's not like it's a Star Wars figure with the little smudgy face, or it's quite surprising to see they made it so realistic.
When you watch the original advertisement for it, they do a good job of making it out to just be like a fun, innocent thing for children to scare each other with. Oh, I'll chase you with my big toy alien, big brother or whatever. It's perfectly innocent.
Perfectly innocent. We'll take a quick look at that ad now, actually. Bring it up.
Kenner presents new alien action figure.
Bayonets blow! Quick, shut the L off! The alien's locked out now! He got through! Shh! Give up! Alien can't be beat! We'll zap him with the light! Don't, he'll destroy the spaceship! We've lost! Better find another ship! Let's try the kitchen! Another triumph for Alien!
Alien action figure, new from Kenner.
They're unstoppable! But we're gonna stop them anyway! Send in the Marines! We're the Space Marines! Drake, Ripley, A-Bone, Bishop, and I'm Hicks, armed with the latest high-tech heavy metal.
Look out, Hicks! The Queen's gonna crown ya! My bug rocker's on a roll! Bull alien attacking! Eat torch, bug brain!
Alien invasion problem? Send in the Marines!
Send in the Marines!
Space Marines! Aliens!
Yeah, brother. I got a problem with some bugs. Give me some Marines.
Love it. I love it. And yeah, I like
Very
going
fun
back
ads.
to that original alien ad. Yeah, like the fact that they
The
even
kid's
have the
talking
kid.
like it's a puppet. Like,
Yeah.
yeah.
Of course, because we all remember how much dialogue the alien had in that
Yeah,
movie.
it's
Like
so
you just
funny.
couldn't shut him up. He was such a chatterbox.
But yeah, they had a surprising amount of gimmicks too, because like Kenner toys are always chock full of gimmicks. It had the moving mouth and tail that bends, and he's got the arm business. And I've just loaded up here the left we've got this original Kenner one with a nice box, very nice presentation on the box. Makes you think of the old like kind of 12-inch Joe and Action Man sort of boxes. And on the right is the big NECA one, who's up in the corner over there. That's my one. That's why there's a little Thanos in front of him, just for scale. That's like an old Toy Biz 90s Thanos. And then Super 7's done their version of it, which is like a nod to the original Kenner one, even down to the box styling and that. but they're all
I'd like
18
to get
inch.
the big Super 7 one. The Super 7 one looks nice and shiny.
Yeah, it looks pretty cool. Like, I wasn't really even aware of it. I mean, I knew about the NECA one because they've done it 2 or 3 times and different, like, slightly different paint decos and that. And I did find a nice image here showing this is like the kind of like the showing off the gimmicks and that for the figure for the Kenner one. And of course, it has the transparent skull, which is part of the movie prop and design. But in the film, as you pointed out, it's quite dark. You can't really see the human skull in it, and that's something I didn't know till years later, looking at photo art books from the movie. I'm like, what's this human skull? I'm like, well, it was always like that, because I thought maybe it was a different design, but that's the original design.
This poster here, man, this black and white, that's one of the coolest things I've ever seen. I don't think I've ever seen this before.
I hadn't seen it before.
yeah.
I just found it on someone's bloody I don't know, one of those various photo uploading sites or whatever. They've just got, that's obviously just like advertising, and it's got some bit of artwork there too I haven't seen before either.
Yeah, because like that's a pretty cool, if that's the poster that's on the back that you get, like even the way it has like mother in front of all like the cryopods and stuff, like that's a really awesome bit of art right there. I would have loved that.
Evil brains glow in the dark. That's a good gimmick.
Yeah, glow in the dark brains. It's a cool toy. I understand it was quite fragile.
Well, it says on the copy, they're designed to come apart. You could put it back together.
I think our buddy Wilhelm of Wilhelm Toy and Hobby, I think mentioned that he had like a grandmother or an aunt or somebody who brought him one of these as a kid. I think they had gotten it possibly second hand, but he said it was quite breakable and fragile. So
yeah,
but still a very cool looking toy.
And I think that's also because the alien design itself is so skeletal and spindly, it's going to lend itself to break and just nick it. My one's its tail snapped off as soon as I got out the bloody package. But also being this a big 18-inch figure, it's kind of, I don't know what other stuff Kenner other than Star Wars was doing. I know they did those doll kind of large Star Wars, but they're solid shampoo bottle things, not like this. So it's kind of a bit experimental. If they did it again, you would think they would have improved the quality.
Yeah. And, I'm sure the quality that was there is probably leagues ahead of some of the stuff we buy today, as we mentioned.
Yeah, I would say so.
NECA,
so.
But, I love this Operation Aliens style.
So we jump ahead to the 90s. We get Operation Aliens and this Kenner toy line. So Operation Aliens is the branding, and then we've got this folder, which is like a marketing thing to show to potential licensees, to show this is our likeness, what we want to make with this stuff. We might make a Tiger Electronics LCD game, which is like tripping over garbage in the 80s and 90s. Every year turned around, there was Tiger games everywhere. There were the low budget things. And apparently the game was made but not released. So I don't know if any production units ever made it out there. I couldn't find much info about that. All I know is if you go on YouTube, there is a long play of it. So someone's found the data file at some point from wherever and sourced it and uploaded it. So it's cool to actually see it on YouTube. You can actually watch it and see all the graphics and stuff. And it's very simple. You're just kind of going up the screen and aliens appear like Space Invaders, basically, like you're shooting up the screen. And I like seeing this cool artwork here. It's one of the few images where you can see the cartoon style Marines and see the background and, get a decent look at them. But they definitely went for a animated style, and it's specifically an animation style and not you could argue and say it's comic book style, but if it was comic book, they would have gotten different color contrast. This is definitely high contrast colors for like animation TV look. So for whatever the reasoning, whether they from day one, they thought, oh, let's market this, maybe we can get a show out of this. And it seems like that idea must have been there to make this art style for the toy line in the first place, even if it didn't go anywhere as far as a show. This thing's pretty random. It's like Alien Quaid watch. What, you got to strap that on your wrist and walk around the playground.
Tail is the strap. Is that how it works?
I have no idea. So, as much as I do, so just looking at this is all I know about is this image, that it existed, and that's it. But I just thought it was pretty hilarious.
Yeah. That poor alien looks like, I don't know, it looks like a rock lord or something. It's just
Yeah, it does.
bizarre.
See, even on the front it says Aliens like the movie, and on the back it says Operation Aliens, so it's a bit confusing.
Yeah, their branding was a bit all over the place at
Yeah.
points, it seems.
But it looks like something you'd find in some like import store next to, like, I don't know, Gundams or Chibi Terminators or something. Just like weird little, like strange morphed looking minifigures and that, the kind of stuff you'd see in comic shops and stores in the mall and that. So we got this Operation
Super
Aliens
cool.
combat game, wicked artwork here, which is that Queen alien close up, and it's all purple looking now.
Yeah, that looks
Let's
awesome.
rock and roll.
I'd love to have a print of this for the wall. It
Yeah,
just looks cool.
check out the alien in the middle there. It's a bit glare. It's got 3 heads. That was the concept, and I think that one got made into either the bull or the mantis. But I did see some images that where it was almost getting to prototype stage, but it was just like sketches and that. So that would have been cool if they'd made that 3-headed one. Actually, it's got the spikes. It's like the boar. It's got the boar spikes on its
Yes,
head. So I
yeah.
think it must be that one. There was a few sketches that got mixed into like boar and the various animal ones. And this is the board game here. I had a real low resolution image, and then I found a much nicer one where you can actually see the artwork in the corners again. I'm pretty sure there's like more Dark Horse artist artwork here again.
Is this something that's hard to come by on eBay? I wonder, are these
I
rare?
had a look, and I think I might have seen one for sale. I don't think it's too uncommon, but whether you get it complete or not, because it's got all these little pieces. And when I saw it, I thought, are they trying to make like a like an RPG type board game, like a Hero Quest, or are they trying to do a more generic, cheap board game? And the answer is kind of somewhere in the middle. It's pretty much a very cheap game as far as the design. It's not really doing much for stats and true D&D stuff, but then it does have some quite nice little miniatures where they're going a little bit towards that role-playing aspect. But there was a website that had some really good stuff about it, telling you how it actually played in the rule set, and it said it was like fairly simple. So they were clearly making it for kids and not for like 20-plus-year-olds who might play real D&D. So I got a T-shirt. Hard to see in these images here because they were the best ones around. Got some stationery. Could have been the coolest kid in school with my aliens pencil and some kind of pencil case thing and like a book or a pad. And I don't know what the alien queen thing is. It's referred to as an alien head squishy. So I don't know if you squeeze it or if it squirts, or I don't know if anything goes inside it. Looks like it's made of foam or something.
Weird. It says plasma on the side of
Yeah,
that.
I know, it's just plasma. So look at the tubes, kind of mushroom drink bottle shape. So I don't know if something goes inside it to squirt like the gorilla alien does. There wasn't really more information other than it exists. That's all we know. I certainly never saw any of this stuff in stores in New Zealand. I only saw the toy line, the action figures.
Yeah, I never came across any of it.
Yeah,
These look really cool though. These top
these are
cards.
wicked. These are wicked, and this is like more good Dark Horse artists that did this little trading card series, and this is Topps cards with Dark Horse Comics artwork. And even though here the Marines, we've got them wearing kind of more like green camo, it's still between movie comic style. But in the we got on the next one. No, go back. On the bottom right, you can see. Oh, sorry, the top right. See the drop ship. That's the Flying Queen alien there.
Nice.
So,
That's awesome.
so we've got. So it's using some of the same design motifs from that style guide thing, even though it's done in a more realistic, comic-y, movie-ish style.
I'd love to get my hands on some of these.
Yeah.
I'd love to actually get a whole framed panel of them.
Actually, the bull aliens on the very left, I can see his horns. This would have been nice for an adult cartoon or an anime or something like. So it feels like that kind of style.
Yeah, and I even
Yeah.
recognize some of these panels from the actual, just the Dark Horse comics. I recognize some of
beautiful.
those arts. Yeah, really, really nice.
And this is the still images from the I don't know if it's just test footage or if they actually animated, the 10 or 20 or 30 seconds for the commercial. But this is what's been around for years online, and it's what these images are what led to the rumors that there was this undiscovered pilot in a vault somewhere, which it didn't exist. And it makes sense because you can actually see it's reasonably reasonably high quality animation, which on a toy commercial you would get, or an intro, you would get something better than what you'd usually see in the main show, where they'll be using less frames and less detail in that. But it's cool we got to see the still images anyway.
Yeah, it's cool. It is a little bit sad, I suppose, that we're not going to someday.
What if?
Yeah, it would have been cool if it had turned out that the rumors were true and that there was this unaired pilot and they actually released it. But it's still nice to know the truth.
Yeah, and it's like you can see that they were definitely aiming in that direction as far as the look and style of it. So it was a possible thing that might have happened back then. And given all the bloody glut of 90s Alien, Predator, Terminator, Robocop merchandise, it doesn't seem an unlikely thing to happen, because it's there was so much other stuff going on. And here we got the retailer catalog.
I wonder for the Aliens cartoon if part of the issue with it was that, so say something, for example, like Robocop. With Robocop, at the end of the day, you can do like a cops and a robbers type show where nobody actually has to be killed or anything has to really happen like that. With Aliens, you'd wonder, like,
the
in
whole
a cartoon,
thing is people dying.
Yeah, like, well, would they even be allowed to say show, for example, Space Marines shooting an alien? Like, because an alien's still
That's
kind
what I
of like
wonder.
an animal, maybe.
Because in the 80s cartoon rule was like your Ninja Turtles could fight robots, and even in the Nickelodeon show, you actually see them decapitate a character that's not human. So you could fight aliens, you could fight robots, you could fight things that are not human, usually not animal violence. But if it was aliens, would they have been allowed to show acid spitting or someone getting impregnated with a thing that's going to burst out of its chest? They're definitely not showing that scene. But could they show them shooting aliens? And it's a real funny grey area there.
Yeah, I imagine it probably would have been a little bit of a headache to try and have to negotiate how, action and stuff would work in a show like that.
It's very
they could
tricky,
reach, I guess, to you're capturing aliens instead of killing them.
I think the closest thing, like in the mini comics, the pack-in mini comics that come with the figures that we'll get into, I did read them all in a row this week, and that's probably the closest in fiction to what a show might have been. And the story in that is that this team are going around to different infested planets, and they find the aliens, they shoot them. There's a little bit of gore in there, not much. And then they get the queen and stop the queen. They're like, okay, there's no queen, the planet's safe now. Let's go on to the next mission, next planet. That it basically just repeats that story through the comics. So I can see that could have been a thing that worked, but they would have to not show the gore in the cartoon to have it be past networks and all that.
I love these Canner promotional images here.
Yeah, they're beautiful. It's one of those nice glossy retailer catalogs, which if you go on eBay, people sell these for about $200, which is 200 too many for something that was free to the retailers. And they would have made quite a few of them, because this, I don't know if this is American or European catalog. I could not tell you, but it's got that very nice 90s Fresh Prince colors down the side there, which look like.
Yeah, very fresh prints, or Saved by the Bell.
Yeah. You can tell it's just of that era. And even the triangles, that was a big thing.
Some of the vehicles are crazy looking in design. It's
They're
weird
very
that
strange.
they decided
I own one of these vehicles, which I've never even seen before.
What do you think of them having the tank treads on the power loader instead of it being like a walking mech?
It seems like I don't know if we call it cost cutting, but like a molding thing, to get it to sort of make sense as a toy. It's quite strange, because like it's going to have that Dalek problem as soon as you hit some stairs or something, or any bump, you're just going to tip the whole thing over.
I love
and they did have all of these vehicles are in the mini comic too. Actually, they show them off. The one on the top here called the Stinger, which looks like a little kind of one-person Jeep half-tank hybrid thing on the top. That looks very Jurassic Park, like as far as all the Jurassic Park stuff that you can see, like Soldier Nedry firing a net out of that cannon or whatever. And that one's within the comic, and they're actually hooning around in the comic going after the bull alien and big, almost African plains. And I was reading the comic, I thought, this is like Jurassic Park.
And some of these toys, they would fit right in with the Jurassic Park lineup,
Yeah.
especially when it comes to the Space Marines and their gimmicky kind of big guns and capture devices.
Yeah, I'm going to play a clip here, and I'll show just some of the figures that I've picked up over the last month. Some I've had before that, but some came on the mail, including this thing on the bottom here called the Hover Tread, which does actually hover in the comic, and it was quite hilarious. It's one of the most demented looking vehicles I've ever seen.
You're fired.
Some fun music, courtesy of the B-52s. I just randomly was looking up, what can I put with this? And I thought it was cool.
Awesome. I'm jealous of your vintage Kenner Aliens collection, Johnny. I must say, I'd love to get my hands on some of that stuff
I'm
again.
jealous of your big NECA collection, because I tried to get a few of those NECA Aliens years back, and they were kind of winding down the line when I was trying to get into it. But moved on to other things, and we're going to see a video in a little bit, see some more the toys here, and we'll show a clip of Mark's stuff coming up too, because they've got wicked NECA Aliens. Some more of the old retailer catalog here, showing off the mini dropship, which is one it's white on the box, but on the bottom it's green in the picture, which is misleading when you're trying to look up these tiny little images, trying to research and look up what's what. And then you've got the evac fighter. The evac fighter was released. The Aliens dropship vehicle was not released. However, it was part of a later line. It was rebranded into a completely different line and released in that. So they saved the old tooling kind of style. And we get the card back here showing off the this is like the full first couple of waves, basically Aliens, Marines, and then your main vehicles.
I love that Mega Drive style grid pattern on the back.
Yeah.
The package.
Yeah, that was cool. I think we had that in the New Zealand ones. There's quite a few card variants, like as in the back of the card for like America, UK, Japan, Australia, New Zealand. There was quite a few different images depending on where you lived, would have different colors and different stuff on those card backs.
You did a great job on just, taking something, because let's be honest, like in the Alien films, especially the first couple of movies, well, all of them really, like the creature and the environment you're in, it's just dark and it's black, it's blue. They managed to take something like that and just put it into like Technicolor, essentially. Like when you look at the designs of all these creatures, they're so kind of bright and colorful and vibrant, compared to what you were seeing in the movies.
I do remember when it came out thinking, oh man, this is really wacky, and kind of having a bit of a laugh. But then my mate picked up something who liked Aliens even more than I did as far as watching the films back then. And he could be looking at like model kits and other stuff. But when you saw the figures in hand, they were like, you could tell they were quality figures, and the gimmicks were quite cool. And like, they had really interesting designs where they got to just have fun making up all kinds of new aliens.
And they clearly learned a lesson from the that original 70s Alien release, because they've actually made it a more kind of child friendly, toyetic experience.
And the build quality is great, like, because they're still going now. You can pick up ones now where the gimmicks are still working working properly, haven't fallen apart, and so even second hand, like, the quality is still quite good. Bit of obscure stuff here. Apparently in the UK only, there were some cardboard dioramas that come with some stuff. And apparently I've seen some images. NECA did their version of one like this, but I didn't know this this one existed, but only in the UK.
Yeah, I had never really been aware of it until NACA did their little special type of version. And they did a similar thing where you collect a piece of it and
Feels like it's an
each, like,
Enterprise or something because it's this half circle.
yeah, very strange. I suppose it's a good way for them back in the day to shoehorn in a play set without actually
Yeah, it's cool.
going
I mean,
to
it's
the
just
trouble of
cardboard, isn't it?
producing one. Yeah, it's just cardboard, so I'm sure it's very little cost to include
And
something
I'm
like
unsure
that.
of exactly how you got them, if they came packed in with figures or what, because I couldn't find very little information about it at all. It was only randomly I was looking up every possible Alien 90s product or thing that tied in with this line, and this came up. So I don't know if they were packed in with the figure or if do they come separate? Did you have to mail and get them? I've got no idea.
Although pretty cool and a nice little oddity in its own way.
Yeah, I'd like to see if anyone out there actually had this thing and see a decent photo of it put together, because there's photos of the NECA one because that's modern, but I've never seen I haven't seen anything other than this, and this is on a dedicated Aliens blog I was reading about, and it's a nice random bootleg here, vintage bootleg, the old superheroes. There's a decapitated Batman in there, so this might have been, maybe this ties. Is this a Batman Aliens crossover from that Dark Horse book? It's just the real Batman Aliens.
Yeah, that's it's everything you'd want in a bootleg right there.
And I don't know what the weird are the bits of plastic accessories or melted plastic or just random broken things they put in there. It's so strange.
It's like something out of The Thing. It's like the
Yeah,
creature
yeah.
hadn't finished its
You got terrible artwork.
transformation.
Superman, Batman, Wonder Woman who's looking down like she's about to throw up, Spider-Man,
Yeah.
and then a guy that's possibly Miracle Man or something, the blonde with the blue. I don't know who that meant to be.
Well, they're superheroes, you know. Superheroes
Very
you know and
strange.
love.
Yeah.
Just
It's
like
not a
home.
bad looking bootleg. I'd say it's obviously the Scorpion Alien by the look of it.
Yeah, I reckon so.
But yeah, now we
It's
get on
great.
to the actual first wave and first releases, which I've gotten the order I've gone Marines and then into Aliens, so we get our human characters together. They did awesome diorama here for this card back for this first wave stuff. Looks so cool.
Yes.
And again, NECA also did their version of this when they brought out their ones. They kind of recreate all this, but all the cool lighting, the little diorama, and the kind of misty, steamy bits around the stairs. Very cool.
Yeah, I'd love to have a setup like that for toy photography and stuff. You could do all sorts with it, because that would work with everything, Star Wars, everything. Yeah, they did a great job with the especially this early wave where you actually do see the diorama instead of just a cross cell with all the available figures. It just looks really, really cool.
Yeah, it's a good way to sell them, especially. I mean, it was the standard thing for the 90s and a lot of 80s toys where you would pick up a figure, you might see one, and you turn over like, oh, there's all these, and they might not be on the shelf, so you don't know they even exist. And at some point that went away, especially sort of post year 2000, as we got into later toy lines, they stopped kind of doing cross sells on things. And even now, if I see something in the shops and there's nothing on the back, I've got to go home and look up online or maybe on the phone to see what else is in that wave or what else is made, because I've got no idea.
I love that Lieutenant Ripley here is clearly not Sigourney Weaver.
It's quite strange. They went because they made the TV ads and they went with some live action, but they went not the movie actors, of course, because it would be too expensive and you're not going to get them all together. So they've got just some actors, and it looks like kind of just fairly not great cosplay sort of thing for the commercials and shots. But then on some of the other cards, you do get the actual likeness of the actor on them.
Yeah, on the Corporal Hicks card, you actually get a picture of Michael Biehn. It's bizarre.
Yeah, and Bishop, of course, who's quite strange looking because they just slapped a thing over his photo. Yeah, close up with
nice
the card art here. Everything,
nice.
The figures, it's definitely a toy thing as far as having big guns and flamethrowers. But in the comic, all the guns are as big as the toy stuff. So that in the little mini comics, the weapons are so heavy, you'll break your damn back carrying around some of these weapons, let alone trying to actually fire them.
Action feature.
Yeah, and I got to muck around with my Ripley the other day and open it up. I had one on card and opened it up and had a good look at it, and I couldn't quite figure it out. What the gimmick was. I thought you had to twist the hand or the barrel. It's actually her waist that turns.
That's right.
But there's a little lever that attaches from the gun, and that just pulls and moves the flame bit. But it has to go into this little kind of weird pocket holster, and it keeps popping out of the pocket holster all the time. So it's a cool gimmick, but the activation of the gimmick is not great. They should have had it just be a handle on the gun or something. Would have made more sense.
You'd have to get the impression with the marketing for this toy line that Ripley she's a character, but she's not the main character. She's just one of the Space Marines.
Well, that's weird actually, because in the comic they refer to it as a Marine.
Yeah.
So it's meant to be. I think the continuity is basically, it's kind of a redux like Aliens. Basically, everyone lives from the movie, and now instead of being a space trucker, she's officially part of this crew of Marines because of what happened in the movie. The colonists died, but basically all the Marines lived, and now we're going out on special missions to get rid of other aliens because of how horrible they are. And there's no mention of the corporation or Burke or any of that. But she's just a Marine now, which is weird because she's never been a Marine. She hasn't been through training or anything to be called a Marine. But she's as tough as balls, of course, of the films. And she's more capable than most of the Marines that die in the movie.
And luckily they were able just to do like a direct transfer of rank because she's still a lieutenant as well.
Yeah, that's the one thing that carried over. Because in the mini comic they call it LT, and I was thinking, what? I'm like, oh yeah, she actually is a lieutenant, so at least that part makes sense.
Drake with his smart gun, pretty cool figure, I have to say.
Yeah, and Hicks, who has possibly the largest weapon in the line, that's like big as his whole torso.
And look, I know I'm biased. Big Hicks fan, obviously, but like even just being, looking at it kind of frankly and honestly here, he is the most Marine-like of the Space Marines. Like Drake's not too bad. Like Drake looks pretty decent as well. At least he's got some like camo gear and that. But Hicks definitely, he just looks like a proper military guy with his gigantic rocket launcher.
Like the card art Hicks, he's got yellow, like a Motu looking strappy thing, but then on the figure it's brown and blends in more.
Yeah. Definitely more realistic looking on the actual figure itself compared to the card art. But I have to say I'm really impressed with the card art on these figures. Like they did a great job.
Nice.
And of course, once again, we get a totally random picture of Drake.
Must be Ron Perlman. Look at it.
I'd say as well, whenever lunch break. I don't know if you noticed this, but whatever prop they're using for his gun, they've obviously reused it because Ripley was holding the exact same weird-looking, mashed up gun thing in her picture as well.
Oh yeah, look at that! I'd never noticed that. That's very good. I did not notice that. Probably because all the red. I didn't. And I've looked at probably about 1,000 bloody images this week repeatedly when I'm going through different ones and resizing them all to get them to fit on here. Here we get Hicks. We get some proper actor, not a stand-in. So they must have. Maybe it was a permission thing as well. It might have been timing, but permission who signed off. And I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if Sigourney Weaver said, "No, fuck off. I don't want you making your stupid kids action figure of me."
Of course, Sigourney is kind of famously anti-gun, so I imagine she didn't probably want action figures of herself with guns.
That's understandable.
Yeah, Hicks.
Yeah, we got gimmicks for Hicks and Drake. So Drake rotates at the waist as well.
Yeah, he's got that whole swinging smart gun deal.
Makes sense for that gun, but I wouldn't have when I opened the Ripley, I wouldn't have guessed the waist rotates because where the flamethrower sits, you can't really see the waist joint, so it kind of hides it.
They're kind of like similar to other Kenner figures of the time. A few of the guys. They're in like a stance almost. Like Drake will
Yeah,
always
quite
be in that,
static.
holding his smart gun stance. Hicks, because one of his weapons clips onto his arm, he's like a straight arm that always looks like it's in karate chop mode.
Yep. And then we got Bishop Monopone. Like I got Bishop and Ripley were the figures I got the other week in the mail, and they were complete and packaged, so it came with those little sticker sheets and everything, and the mini comic.
This is where we're getting into real, like, let's just G.I. Joe these guys up.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah, the no bugs and the backwards baseball cap just always made me laugh. And he's got that weird mechanical over exo arm thing.
Yeah, definitely not the same guy from the movie. I noticed in his artwork there as well for his packaging, the mechanical arms like the wrong side as well.
That is too. Yeah, look at that. And the Bishop is a strange one. Like he's nothing like movie Bishop, but it does feel very well G.I. Joe, or it feels like something you would actually see in 90s comics.
Yes,
because it's just another generic android, you know, that's more military focused and not like a helper robot.
I like his gimmick as well, where you can feed the bullets through his big Gatling gun thing. It's pretty cool. I'm pretty sure a Terminator toy from the same era came with the exact same gimmick, and Bishop here actually looks like he could be a Terminator.
Yeah, he does look a bit like that. It's here she is showing off the back here, and here this is Lance Henriksen face, but some bad computer effect of let's just shove this on this, like he's in Deus Ex now.
That's hilarious, like because it's so obviously
it's
him.
Just so bad. Like I remember him laughing about this as a kid and seeing this and going, because me and my mate knew who Lance Henriksen was, you know, Terminator and all that, and I was like, it's like, oh my god, when you see that, and then the wraparound shades, it might as well be Duke Nukem or something.
Whoever they got to play Pone here, he's definitely been hitting the gym.
Yep. Yeah, I'm interested to know. I'm not sure who. I'm sure that'll be easily find outable, because there was a lot of people that did stuff like this for, like, you know, got Toyline stuff. Then you got things like Mortal Kombat, not the later games, guys that would do costume set stuff like this who became known for doing things, and they're often quite, you know, muscular dudes. Like people who played Jax and that. And
I'd love to get his t-shirt.
Yeah,
real niche reference. Yeah. All it needs is just replace the S with a Z to make it even more 90s. No bugs.
No bugs.
No bugs. No bugs. 99. But yeah, I'd love one.
I'm going to bring up a clip. Let's see. There we go. I'm going to bring up a clip now. It goes a couple minutes, just showing off same toys, but this is showing off some of the gimmicks that come with the toys, and then we'll get back into this again. There we go. Some of the cool gimmicks.
And that wild boar just looks awesome when the spikes come out
Yeah,
of
I
his
put him
head.
in last. Remember you're saying he's one of your favourites?
Yeah, love him, love him.
I've
Still
got
have
two of them. I haven't
my
opened the other one
childhood
yet.
queen here.
Yeah, nice.
She still does her thing.
Mark,
She's still,
if you have a problem, do you have any advice for if you have a problem? You're with it good.
oh, Vazgaz. There's somebody I would have loved to have a figure of.
I don't mind her in the red because they've got a later one in green, but I think she still looks cool in the red. It feels a little weird that they gave her the blue headband though. Actually, the colors match what you've got on now.
Yeah, yeah. I'm representing Toy Vazgaz today.
Yeah, Toy Vasquez.
Notice as well, though, obviously the coolest thing for me about this figure is she comes with an actual pulse rifle, and it looks like a really nice mold as well. It's really, really nice. I would have loved this back in the day.
But that
Never
missile
had
blaster thing, I think that's going to break you back too. The weight of that.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. It seems very impractical and heavy.
And these figures are quite skinny, and they don't stand too well to start with. So to put that on there, it's definitely going to topple over.
And I see now at this point in the line, we've gotten to the stage where we're just taking a photo of the toy for the file card now.
So we're not going to waste money on actors or cosplayers or nothing like that.
We're not even going to show the toy holding its accessories because we know it will keep falling over.
Just standing, no nothing. I think she might be going to be in big trouble without any weapons. And we got the old classic everyone remembers from Aliens, O'Malley. He's got that big extending arm. Big extending arm that's going to guarantee you die in 5 seconds fighting aliens. That's like picking stuff off the floor, not for fighting aliens.
So I never owned O'Malley, so I'm only noticing now as I look at a close up of this toy that from like the neck down, he's Corporal Hicks's body. He's got the same molding, and he's got the same long karate arm as well.
They were just definitely running out of ideas as far as weapons. Like they could have repurposed someone else's weapon if they're going to repurpose the body.
Yeah, well, like you're running low on ideas when your idea is like an extendable. Like I don't even know. I can't even explain an extending capsule.
It's going to capture the alien as shown, but look at that middle picture. He's not capturing anything. They can't even pull it off of their own production image.
Yeah, he's going to capture the alien.
Repurpose this little gimmick from something out, another toy, because it seems like it.
It seems very specific. Yeah, it doesn't seem like something this. It seems like something that was shoehorned in here because they couldn't think of anything else.
Put a boxing glove on it, give it to Bugs Bunny or something, or Daffy Duck would make more sense.
But like, even if the device was supposed to work as intended, so what? You capture the alien and you bring it closer to you,
and then kill yourself faster. It's a suicide assistance accessory.
Once again, we see here with O'Malley, no actor, they just stick the toy and take a picture of it. But at least they actually have him holding.
I don't mind the name and theme, just give them like a bit of different representation in there. But just give them man a decent weapon, give them a pulse rifle or something.
I like the way the name O'Malley is trademarked as well.
Yeah, they're going to use that again in so many toy lines.
Space Marine O'Malley. He's got red hair. He's definitely supposed to be Irish, I reckon. With a name like that,
it's
red hair.
But yeah, they had like Vasquez, O'Malley, and who was the other one? So Hudson, I'm not sure, but they had the early wave, and then these other Marines came out later on, and apparently were kind of harder to get in some territories because they didn't make as many of them, or they just weren't distributed terribly well.
Yeah, because here we see Hudson's got the Apone mechanical arm deal as well. Like,
Yeah.
Must have been a lot of arm injuries among the Space Marines in this continent. Of course, ridiculously impractical backpack torpedo launcher, which launches the torpedoes sideways instead of forward.
Back into the
Guaranteed to, you're guaranteed to like blow yourself up like if you use this device. But just because it's an action figure and it has the name Hudson on it, I probably would have wanted this as a kid as well, because then I would have had Higgs, Hudson, Vazgaz, Drake, Ripley. So even though they don't look anything like their characters from the movie, at least you would have had the characters from the movie. And I think of the Marines as a kid, I had Ripley and Hick and Bishop. I don't think I had a Pone. I think my cousin had a Pone. The Marines were a little bit harder to find than the aliens themselves. The aliens were everywhere, it felt like, but the Marines and the vehicles just weren't, that commonly available, at least where I was living.
Yeah, I never saw any of the vehicles. I remember seeing the first wave aliens and the first wave Ripley. I do remember seeing in some of those early guys, but that was about it. And after that, just saw more of the aliens, which became more popular in the line than the human figures. And even as we get further into this, they started removing the humans from the rear card cross cell, just forgetting about them and pumping out more aliens. And yeah, this is like the last of our Marines. He was part of a different wave again, ATAX, with his bizarre alien bug armor with the kind of Queen-inspired head.
Wacky idea for a figure.
Very strange.
Yeah, probably wouldn't work in actual real setting, but as a toy, it works. Wacky looking as it is, this kind of
I thought it was the weirdest one in the line,
alien.
but I think I will say, like, the parts of it here, the individual bits look like they put a bit of thought into the engineering of it. I mean, the concept is weird, but as far as the quality of making the figure, I think they've got, they put a bit of effort into it to make it something unique.
I like his sideburns.
Yeah,
man of character.
It's got some kind of white stripe in there, like not a bleach stripe, but like a stress spot. His hair's gone prematurely grey.
He's seen some action. Well, when you're disguised as an alien and you're hanging out in these alien hives, I'm sure you see some pretty bad stuff.
And in the mini comic story, he comes in. The other Marines don't know who he is because it's like the end of the first story. Now it's a new wave, a new comic story, and he comes in and is like, "All right, everybody, hold my beer. I'm going to sort this all out. You just go over there and do nothing, and I'm going to go in and kick ass." And you think, what's going to happen? He's going to get beaten. And then he goes in and beats all the aliens, and they all stand back and they're like, "Oh yeah, he really is the greatest." I'm like, seriously, that's what you're putting in the comic? Is it this one? Oh no, hang on. There we go. So they're standing back, and like even Ripley's like, "He is the best. That was incredible. Works every time. My bio boost armor. Bugs can't tell me from one of their own. I'm a maximum surprise." But it's very over the top.
He does look, when you see him here, he does look kind of cool just in his alien body armor or whatever that he's
it's got a nice kind of airbrush paint sort of look to it.
Yeah, it's a wacky idea though. It's like what type of gimmick character can we come up with here? Oh, a guy who dresses up as the enemy.
If they're going to do the disguise alien, why didn't they do like the Dark Horse comics and just do an android disguise as an alien? Would make more sense.
Yeah, Robo Alien.
Yeah, Robo Alien. He almost does all the stuff because it is a biomechanical suit, so it must make him quite strong. And then of course we get to one of the vehicles of the line, the power loader with the weird tank treads instead of legs. And it seems like they didn't want to mold individual legs, I guess, as part of it. But who knows if it had been a show or something, would it have rolled around and that would have been not part of the gimmick and style to have the treads?
Maybe. You probably are right though about it just being.
I'm just guessing.
Yeah. Because if you don't mold separate legs, then you don't have to articulate them either.
Yeah.
Whereas if it's just rolling on treads, all you need is
They could have gone G1
wheels.
Transformers style and kind of painted the legs on or made a line or something. And I love the extra guns on the side of the power loader because it's meant to be, it's like a forklift, but it's got guns on it now.
It's a Space Marine power loader with Alienator missile.
I mean, it's fair enough. If they're going to a different planet, you could put extra stuff on there, but you're on uneven surfaces. So whether it's tank treads or a walking forklift, it's made for flat surfaces, so it's not really the best strategy.
You might need to clear some boulders or something, so you launch your Alienator rocket at.
Yeah.
Still, though, a cool toy. Would have loved this as a kid.
Yeah, I would like to get it.
Never came across it. Just never saw it in the wild, from what I can remember. I actually think the only two vehicles I ever saw on the shelves were the Stinger and that hover tread tank that you got.
Yeah, I never saw any of them. So getting that hover tread in the mail, that's the first vehicle anything was get that second-hand one in the mail. And mine actually did come with the box and was complete, so it was in quite good shape. And here's the Stinger thing, which I can't... As soon as I see this, I think of the Jurassic Park line when I see these.
Really cool looking, I think, the Stinger. It definitely... it ticks my boxes for a cool looking vehicle.
Yeah, it looks more like an actual kind of mini all-terrain vehicle thing that might make more sense.
I'm guessing there's probably a G.I. Joe collector or two that could make a good custom out of this too.
Easily.
But yeah, I wouldn't mind grabbing one of these secondhand for cheap and sticking a couple of Jurassic Park stickers on it and just have it capturing some dinosaurs. Pretty cool. I love the word alienator. We've seen it a couple of times now.
I like that they've got this snare that you might, if you might capture a bloody dinosaur or something, but if you capture the alien, it's just going to start like clawing and spitting at you if you get it in that snare. So it does not seem a good idea.
Yeah, this seems like more like something the company would use because they're trying to bring an alien back alive.
Yeah.
Really pretty cool looking creature.
Yeah, gorilla. Nice cut up.
The gorilla alien, I think I liked his coloring the best. I like because of that blue and black, almost alien brand vibe to him. Notice as well on his the blue face hugger. I like it. He's a finger hugger now, though.
The finger.
I noticed that the gorilla alien has a shot of the xenomorph from Alien 3 as bio card, and the scorpion alien.
I remember as a kid seeing that and recognizing that it was Alien 3 because Alien 3 was basically out at the time when these figures were coming out.
A very cool looking figure. Love that kind of grabbing action and the water spitting gimmick as well, which you.
It feels one of the more well thought out designs and gimmicks where it actually makes sense, and the gimmicks work quite well. It's quite fun to get them, and you can put another figure in it and it'll hold the tension there. And the colors are really nice. I got two of these. One's they're both second hand. One's quite faded, and you can tell someone's played with it outside or whatever because it's got kind of scratches and it's missing its tail. And the other one I got looks absolutely pristine. It looks like it's just come out of the package, and the colors in the blue really pop as much as this image here does. And it kind of made me appreciate the toy even more, seeing how nice the colors were when it's just like just pristine. I got another little.
I love the blue face hugger. I love the way they all come with colored face huggers, but the blue one just looks crazy.
Yeah, it was a cool idea. Different themed ones for different figures. I've got another clip to play here showing off. Most of these alien figures have two gimmicks each. So you got the grabbing arms, which he has little levers on his back that do the grabbing arms. But this video is showing off the squirting head gimmick, which is something, if you like the old Masters and other Ninja Turtles, there are quite a few toy lines did this gimmick, but I think this one did it pretty well. And this week was the first time me actually using. I had a gorilla alien back then, but I don't know if I ever put water in it because I tended not to play the toys outside. But this is definitely an outside toy, messy, quick 1 minute video here.
Oh, that's gonna hurt! It's happening again! My brain! My heart! Stinging!
Don't worry, kids. He didn't get Jim Harper. He made a recovery, and I'm no fan of the Ultimate Warrior, so I was actually going to use He-Man on that, and I thought, nah, I'll use this Warrior instead.
Yeah, you know, Warrior just hates working in those conditions. You know.
Yeah.
He ain't gonna put over no bug. Bull Alien, another classic. Love the
Yeah.
artwork on his bio card too. Looks very nice.
Yeah, it's I've got this guy out the back. I had one back in the 90s, and I have one I picked up last year again, but I couldn't find it this week. It's in the tubs out the back, so eventually I'll find it and get it with the other aliens.
One thing I like about these early waves of the actual alien creatures as well is that egg-shaped bubble they come on.
Yeah, that's cool.
Because the Marines all come in a kind of rectangular or squarey bubble, whereas the aliens get the egg one, which I always thought was a nice touch.
And they did do in some later wave and international like repaint. So the one on the right is the Bull Alien, but he's red. I don't think he looks as good as the original one, but he's still just a cool variant.
Yeah, more generic packaging in those later waves as well. They don't have to say.
Well, you can the one, that variant one looks more like sort of Alien Resurrection almost kind of logo.
Of the red
like
face.
The bottom part of main where it says Bull Alien, not the other part.
Yeah, I get you. Very
yeah,
cool
the Bull Alien's
design.
one of my favorites, and I think the Bull and the Gorilla both make good little troop builders if you want to buy multiples of those, and they're still fairly common and cheap actually.
Yeah, and I think they kind of just took the Bull Alien and made it into like a Rhino Alien later on as well, if I recall.
And the gimmick's really cool. How you pull a lever and it does a headbutt where his whole neck extends out, and it's quite powerful. If you put another figure, it'll really knock it away. And then the second button thing will like tilt his head back and forth. It's kind of cool gimmick. The Scorpion Alien is a really cool design. This is the most movie-like alien of the line so far. And the exploding feature was carried over from Beetlejuice toy and another. I think it was either a Robocop or a Terminator toy, because it's the exact same gimmick. And I saw a really cool blog where they got those 3 different toys and mixed the parts. And you can actually put 3 different toys together and they actually fit and use the same interior molding parts.
It's awesome. Yeah, because there was an exploding Terminator. I do remember the exploding Terminator.
Yeah, so it was the Terminator, Beetlejuice, and the Scorpion Alien. And as I was reading the article, I thought, I wonder if any of the parts are compatible. And sure enough, the guy didn't put 3 different toys together.
Once again, we see the Alien 3 alien being used for the bio data here. They really were getting the most out of that movie for the stills. This was my favorite, or at least one of my top Xenomorph figures as a kid, because he was so movie accurate. Loved the exploding gimmick as well at the time. Always used it.
If Alien 3 had loads of aliens like the second movie instead of 1, this almost could have been an Alien 3 toy line, because as far as the timing of it, but it didn't. So they went more with the branding of Aliens, the second film, the most well known of the franchise, basically, when we're getting up to the third film.
And someday we'll dissect that third film, no doubt.
It's a tricky one because you've got all the multiple redacted versions of it and all the production histories. That's a real, not just a nightmare of a shoot, but the production history of Alien 3 is pretty extensive. Like there's multiple long part articles about all the different versions. The wooden planet. It's like, and there was a guy from New Zealand who was going to direct it at one point, or at least was writing on it.
Another one of my favorites here, the Alien Queen. Love this figure.
And you get a chest burster that's like a Queen alien chest burster. That's cool.
Which, once again, is very Alien 3. The design actually is like the Queen chest burster from you see at the end of Alien 3. It's
I can see up the top. It's got KB Toys marked down to $5.99
in value there. That's a nice. That looks like a Dark Horse comic book bit of art for the bio card.
Yeah, I think so.
Looks
that's
really
got to be cheaper to pay that artist than to get a James Cameron production still.
Yeah, still have my childhood Alien Queen. We saw it there a few minutes ago. When I held her up, she's still ticking.
And here you can see some of these card variations too, because look, on the middle one we got that Mega Drive background, and then on the one on the right we got the bio card way up in the corner on top of all the diorama.
Yeah, and the ones that were most common for me were these multilingual ones with the actual physical card inside the packaging.
Yeah.
I don't think I ever came across the ones where you have to cut out the card yourself.
I've got no memory of what the ones in New Zealand were, because it's just I'm sure the very first ones we had that Mega Drive grid pattern, but the later ones I got no idea. And then looking at ones this week, I was looking at like UK, America, Japan, and stuff, and there was another good blog I read went through all the variations of them.
Yeah, she's a great figure, this Alien Queen. And I know, look, probably undersized, whatever, but to get a big chunky figure that size is pretty cool in the line. And she is still kind of bigger and chunkier than pretty much all the other xenomorphs in that first wave, so she stands out.
Yeah, she's like the biggest figure in the line so far. We don't count like vehicles or whatever.
Yeah. No, great figure. 6 arms. She's got the squirty gimmick as well, and the mouth pop out gimmick along with the whipping tail.
The mouth pop out gimmick's really nice. I couldn't remember how to activate it, which is funny because I've messed about it back in the 90s, but my mate had it. And then the one I had this week, I couldn't remember how to actually. I just tilted the head because I couldn't remember you had to squeeze it and how to get it to go. Yeah, I kept looking for a button because there's so many things have buttons.
Yeah, it's simple, but yeah, it's a cool little gimmick.
And during the action feature of that video I had showed before, it took not one but 2 tail whips to take down the Terminator, so he's quite heavy.
Well, he's a cyborg, a cybernetic organism, so you'd expect it would take a little bit extra work.
Very cool figure. Definitely one of the standout figures in the line. As is this one, I think, which is quite a bizarre idea of flying Queen Alien, who has 2 arms instead of 6 arms and quite a bit skinnier. But it's a really interesting design. And like the figure has transparent wings. The button on the back makes them flap. The claw on the feet can like retract quite strongly and hold the weight of another figure. It's a really cool design, but very wacky. When you see it, you're like, what the hell? Flying Queen Alien?
Crazy. Absolutely crazy. But I was delighted to see when you were looking through those art cards earlier that there was some good, because that card art anyway on this looks great.
Yeah, it's wicked.
I love the way she's
kind of got in its head. It's got a real silver reflective polish to it, like a shiny car. She's got
a razor blade mohawk. She's a really, really unique, cool looking design. No, I love the flying Alien Queen. And that gimmick with the flapping wings, as I'm sure, it really hurts your thumb because those wings, they clap together really hard. It's
it's quite. I mean, they're lightweight, but it's got a bit of heft to it. This toy, and it's very solid construction. Very cool
I love the
toy.
flying
I'm
alien
glad
figures.
to own it again. I actually got the Queen Alien and the Flying Queen. I got them quite cheap, loose again last month for about the price you'd pay, probably even less than some of the other figures. So it was quite good. What do you reckon about this Mantis Alien?
I always thought it was a very cool design. I hope your one does actually show up in the post this week. But it's a freaky looking design. Actually looks great in the bio card shot they took. Looks the most kind of impressive of all the toy shots we've seen so far on these little trading cards. I always thought the Mantis Alien was a really cool design. I love the card art here showing them off. I actually have, I brought her out today of storage, the NECA version of this. Very cool looking. Very tall and gangly. Unfortunately quite top heavy because of the design, but the design is excellent and they've really done a great job of taking that original Kenner idea and modernizing it and making it into a freaky ass looking figure. Like, and of course they kept the translucent plastic as well, which is really cool. This guy I think would go really well with this egg that Badger sent me. They kind of match color scheme wise, don't they? I think that works. Yeah, I think I'll be getting some photos of those two together in the future.
Yeah, it's very cool figure. I like the oh, hang on, it's the wrong one there. Because I've split this into multiple things because there's so many images. Yeah, I love the design of the Mantis Alien and the transparent plastic with the green tint. Like I've ordered one of these from America along with the Scorpion Alien, some other stuff. I think it's been sitting up the post shop this week. It could be something else, but I didn't have time to go and get it because I've never. It's one of the few I haven't actually seen in person out of the package. So I'm looking forward to messing about with them next week. And they did carry over the same arm gimmick from the Gorilla Alien. You can see the little levers in his back. You squeeze him and then he grips another figure.
Yeah, really nice design and just another nice colorful figure that really pops. Like, because that's
Yeah, it's a good
one thing I'll
reuse
say
of
about.
the torso and legs, but with new head and new arms from the gorilla.
When you see these Kenner aliens kind of lined up together, like in the back of this cross cell, they just look so vibrant. I just love
Yeah.
the color schemes.
And
Really cool.
what else we got here? Got the Rhino Alien. It's another interesting one. It carries over the gimmick from the Bull Alien with the, well, as far as I know, it does the same head gimmick.
I actually do like the repaint that they've done here.
Yeah, the repaint's awesome. All the silver looks like something you'd see in the Giga art.
Very cool. Yeah, I never owned a Rhino Alien actually out of my childhood Xenomorphs.
I'm trying to get this one. He's a bit pricier, but hopefully I'll get one next month.
I do like his design. It looks like as well, now maybe I'm wrong, but just going by these pictures, the later wave Xenos don't seem to come packed with any extra face hugger or anything like that.
No, they really stripped it down. I mean, they focused on the aliens and later the Predator figures, of course. But yeah, as far as they started, you can tell they definitely, they did a fair amount of reuse and tooling, typical Kenner style. But as the card backs go on, they even stopped doing the cross cells. Eventually, those got rid of it altogether. They clearly were cutting back cost-wise and not doing any new photography or stuff like that for the card backs and the accessories or whatever.
Probably on its last legs as a line after the.
Well, it wasn't. It did a good few years. Like it was fairly successful for what it was. There was a point where it got canned, probably a little early, but it did kind of go over into two different lines, really, like that became one extended long line. We'll do another clip here for a couple of minutes, which is showing off. So these are all Kenner vintage aliens from the 90s. And of course, NECA has done a hell of a lot of Alien and Predator figures over the years. They've done probably about 50 each in the Aliens and Predators, or more than that. And they've also done, as Mark showed off the Mantis one, they've done nods to the Kenner specific ones as well as their actual movie style figures. But let's take a look at the first part of the clip here.
Okay, so here is my Alien/Aliens shelf, which I mostly use for my human characters from the first two movies. So, zooming in here, these are all pretty much NECA releases. So we've got the crew of the Nostromo led by Ripley here. We see Ripley and Parker up the front. Behind them we have Brett, Ash. Of course we have our xenomorph approaching Brett from behind here. Here is Captain Dallas and crew member Kane, who has succumbed to the facehugger. And we got Lambert there in the background, still in her packaging with a little facehugger lurking above. Behind them here we see I have a couple of concept xenomorph creatures from both Alien and Aliens. So moving over to the Aliens section, we kind of have the lead Marines and a couple of other characters. So getting in closer, we have Vasquez up front. In the background here we see that little weasel Burke being interrogated by Hudson and Corporal Hicks. Of course, I also have Ripley in the power loader. Fantastic toy, I must say. The power loader, very chunky and impressive. And here's old Bishop, keeping an eye on things after being ripped apart by the Alien Queen, who we will have a look at later. But yeah, that's my, oh yeah, I almost forgot. We have a xenomorph up here lurking. That is a Kotobukiya release. It's got magnetized feet, so it's able to hang. Pretty cool. So yeah, that's the Alien and Aliens display of my human characters. Okay, so we are back looking at my Alien and Predator collection. Here, just on top of one of the cabinets, I have a bit of a catch-all shelf. So, just a mix of different scale Alien and Predator pieces, and a couple of carded figures there in the background as well. The top of this shelf could definitely do with a dusting. See, we got the old Kenner Corporal Hicks in the background as well there, along with some of the newer NECA versions of Hicks and Hudson. Good old Dutch there from Predator. So moving down here we have my Aliens shelf, and this shelf is predominantly kind of built around this Alien Queen and an egg display. So we've got Ripley and Newt coming face to face with the Alien Queen on this shelf here, and the Alien Queen is accompanied by some of her drones. So looking here at some of these warrior drones here. I've got a few carded figures there in the background, just other versions of the Colonial Marines and Ripley. You see Private Rico Frost there in the background, still on the card. So there we go, the Alien Queen. Probably my favourite NECA piece that I own. Moved so nice I bought it twice, and someday I might even buy it thrice. Love it.
Wicked Alien collection. Like, you've also got, we'll see another clip later, you've got the red genocide version of that Queen Alien, which is the one I've got because it happened to be cheap one time. It's the only big thing I've got like that.
Yeah, love that Alien Queen mold. Definitely one of the best.
Beautiful.
Pieces of
The
bits in
tail's
this
so
pack.
posable and the figure's so long. It's amazing.
Speaking of amazing, killer crab alien. What a gimmick.
But will it be
Multiple
delicious to eat?
arms. I like the way he actually he's like an organic an organic missile launcher pretty much. with
Yeah, it
his
looks like little
chest
ghosts or
burster
something
and
shooting
mouth.
out of it.
It's a bit like one of the chest launchers kind of looks like your traditional xenomorph mouth, but the other one looks like something from Prometheus or something. It's
Yeah.
or
Quite
like you
strange.
said, like it's like a real Ghostbusters style crazy ghost design.
Yeah, I've never had this one or seen it in person, so I'm keen to try and get one. It's not one of the like they're common in America, but you're not going to find them on eBay Australia or anything. So I can only import them and keep hunting around. And it's too expensive to get one, so I'll try and get a good group buy or something with several figures. So I'm very keen to add this to the collection.
Yeah, it's a real it's the beauty of this toy line as well, though, that it just gets to they just don't care. They'll just make a crazy toy like an alien that's firing rockets from its chest, essentially.
Yeah,
Like they just
the colors are great, just like the red and the black looks fantastic.
yeah. And the artwork once again, though, on that card is beautiful.
And I like that it's you can tell that they've really sculpted a good amount of new parts here. It's not just a reuse one, so it makes it a bit more interesting. But yeah, the card art's awesome.
Love it. Don't think they did any rejigs of that one.
Yeah, I know.
Here's one
Don't
of my
think I did
favorites.
because it was one of the later releases, and there's only a handful of stuff that they really repainted or redid parts of. Most of the line is fairly original sculpts in that.
Wild Boar. Love this guy. Just the gimmick is very simple. You tilt the head for the spikes to emerge, but he just looks like a vicious bastard with those
Yeah,
spikes
such a massive
protruding from
head
his
he's
head.
got.
It's like the
And I have to say,
Hellraiser
I got
alien.
never owned this, and now I got two of them opened. One the other day, and one's still in the package. I opened down the track when I put these on the shelf. And
He looks proper freaky in the card art there as
yeah,
well. Like he just
and there's
like
little spikes of transparent plastic that the light shines through really nicely.
they look like something that should break easily, but my one withstood a lot of punishment as a kid.
Yeah, they're very solid.
Yeah, very solid figure. The only, from what I remember with this figure, the only real drawback was that because of the gimmick with the front two legs used to push the head, you can't like do any movement with him apart from kind of having him on
Yeah,
all fours at the same time. But apart from that, absolutely great toy. I just love the look of this creature.
yeah, it's a very cool design, and it's another one I'd never seen in the store, so I was very happy to get a pair of them in the mail the other week. Very cool figure. This one, Queen Alien Facehug. I've got this one actually out the back, but again, it's in another tub somewhere. A mate gave me one last year, and it's what got me thinking about this line again about a year ago when I picked it. A week later, I ordered the Ball Alien cheap online. And the one I got at the back is loose, but the gimmicks work perfectly. It's in fantastic shape, like it's just come out of the package. You got the tail has a retractable piece of string in there, and you pull it out on a winding mechanism, and you press the button, and it goes and it ripcords. It pulls back in quite strongly. And the other gimmick is you flip the legs out like the face hugger legs like this, so it stands up, and you press it, and they go in, and they will grab whatever you put onto a figure or whatever. And it's got a lot of transparent red plastic. I had it hanging off that shelf for about 6 months last year, just hanging off there. It looked really cool.
It's an awesome design, and it's one of those things they probably could have easily just called it, the spider alien or something like that,
Yeah.
arachna alien or something. Because it looks, even though they call it like a queen face hugger, it does still look more like almost like it's like a xenomorph because it's got like the weird mouth thing and all that stuff. But
Yeah.
no, always loved this design. I actually have here as well. It's the kind of modern NECA kind of take on it.
Oh,
All
awesome.
it was they
I like
took
the little web bits in between there. Look great.
this face hugger is actually from an unused kind of queen face hugger design from the Alien 3 movie that was cut out of the movie.
Oh,
And
really?
I'd already released this as its own separate figure. So they just recolored it red and black and used it as the NECA or as the Canner tribute. So I thought I did a pretty good job at it. But yeah, that original one though, it's just it's a crazy looking toy, and I loved that as a kid. I always would have it like literally like the way they show it in the instructions on the card. I have it like wrapped around, a human figure crushing
I
him.
think I've got a second one coming
Possibly.
off eBay that I got in another mixed slot. So I'll have next month. I'll have 2 of these bloody things.
And I'm pretty sure you showed me a picture of like a later release of this that's more like
Yeah, that's
flat
coming
color.
up in the later ones. I've got all the repaints towards the end shot, the kind of repaints. I did a repaint of this that was in a more realistic, fleshy tone. But yeah, really quality piece this. And I thought the one I got last year from a mate was just a mixed bunch of stuff he was getting rid of. He's another toy collector, lives in Perth and that. And he comes across all sorts of stuff, but then he collects certain stuff, but he also trades stuff online and eBay and whatnot. So sometimes he gets stuff he doesn't collect, just as trade fodder and stuff to sell, when they end up giving me this. And I thought the gimmick would probably be broken, surely, this being this old, especially the string on the pulley thing. But no, it worked perfectly. It works like really well.
Yeah.
Actually, I've got the second one because I had it out the other day. It's like my good one's out in the tub. My second one was in the little clip video I showed earlier because it has worn out where the legs pop out. Only one locks, the other one doesn't lock in place anymore. So clearly someone had played with that one a lot more. So I do actually have 2 already here, but I've got to dig them out of the tub. And the Night Cougar alien, yeah, I got him this week in the mail too, and he was very nice.
Never came across this one as a youngster.
Yeah, I've never
either,
seen it in person before. But the paint job on it is awesome. That black with the kind of like red stripes on it looks beautiful.
Hacking kamikaze parasite. So another
Yes.
another kind of organic
Just a missile gimmick.
launching device.
And it goes, it's a weird gimmick. Like when I put it in, I was trying to figure out how to make it work properly. I mean, it's a missile gimmick, but how to get it to lock. And you've got to like tilt his head forward, and it plugs in behind his neck going into his body quite far to lock it in. And then you pull him down, and his legs moving forward like the Boar alien. Legs move, and that makes the missile thing fire. So his head tilts down, and then it fires out. So it's quite a strange one, because it's a little little parasite weird thing. And if you leave it not quite locked in, it will actually sit snugly in there without firing out and losing it. And it kind of gives them like an extended head crest when you leave it sitting in there, because it matches his head color, which you can see in that top pull out image as it kind of angles down.
I like the way for his card as well. Like the egg is like on its side and the stuff is like leaking out onto it. That's a really nice touch, I think.
That's cool.
Like in the background. But yeah, his the way they've actually done the attacking kamikaze parasite on that box art as well, where you can actually see the actual painted teeth and stuff. It looks cool.
It's a weird gimmick.
Yeah.
But the figure's it's a really beautiful figure. I like the paint is comparable to like, I don't know, like the Ball alien maybe, just it looks in person it looks much nicer than these images here.
Yeah, he's got a very he's a sleek design without a doubt. It always kind of reminded me, just going by these pictures, a little bit of the dog alien from Alien 3
the dog alien. You see a lot of the Alien 3 influence throughout this line, really, like that dog alien and the look of it. And then we get the later repaint in silver, like more kind of movie looking over there.
Yeah, no, but a really cool one. I would have loved this one as a kid. It was one of the ones that kind of escaped me from when it came to the actual alien creatures.
And then we've got another vehicle, the evac fighter. And this one, I've seen someone in Australia's got this a pristine one that's boxed complete for about what's that? Somewhere around $200, and which is might seem pricey, but they're the second owner of it, and whoever had it before them was clearly a collector and not a kid because it's absolutely pristine. I think the stickers were still on the. I'm not sure if the stickers are still on the sheet, but it has the cardboard insert in the box. The box is perfect, and it's in absolute perfect condition.
It's an awesome looking vehicle, even if it is kind of. It's disappointing in some ways that they didn't go with the dropship first as the big vehicle of the set, because it would have been great to have actually gotten that. But the evac fighter, as kind of wacky as it is for not actually being, once again, anything to do with the film ranting, it's still a pretty cool toy with a nice little capture gimmick and stuff.
Yeah, it looks like some kind of space fantasy Starcom or G.I. Joe kind of thing. And they got the gimmick where it's got this trouble bubble thing to trap an alien in, which does turn up in the mini comics. That's quite hilarious. They fly in and just like, whoops. And then they're like, what are we going to do with this queen? I don't know. Drop in a volcano. And they drop the queen in the volcano from this bubble thing.
Yeah, like it's called an evac fighter, which in itself is a strange, like, you know, are you evacuating people? Are you fighting? Because you've only enough room to carry an alien and then whoever's piloting the vehicle. Like, so, yeah, strange. But still a cool looking, wacky vehicle.
Quite big too. It's definitely that kind of Joe sort of thing where it's quite bulky and like not easy to display on a shelf sort of thing.
Did you see yourself picking up one of these?
Oh, maybe in a couple of months if that guy still has it, I would think about it just because it's in such pristine condition. I'm not usually a vehicle person really because of the size and all that, but as far as just having more stuff from this line, I'd think about it. I would go for the Queen Egg playset over this first, even though this is a really decent looking vehicle. But this is actually the one that was on eBay here. That's where I found this nice image showing it out of the box.
Of course, you have manual.
Oh yeah, so the stickers are applied because there's a sticker sheet, but they're applied properly.
The Alienator missiles once again. Alienator trademark.
And you got that nice grid pattern again on the manual and the sticker sheet instructions and that. And
it's a nice design when you see it up close. I'd say once again, people in the kind of if you're in like the 1/18 scale of collecting, I'd say you could customize this to probably get 2 figures in that cockpit, you know, because it's a bit bigger scale.
And here's the one vehicle I now do own. This was some eBay images, but I do have mine's in the same shape. It's got a box with a few creases like that, but the box is in a good shape. The toy was like complete inside. It's just one toy, and it has a little plastic clip on, which is that kind of harness thing that the figure sits in at the top. That clips on there and rotates. And underneath, you got to take some screws. There's a big panel, and there's a whole box that's quite large, and that's the sound effects. And once you take that whole box out, it's got buttons on it, and you've got more screws. It takes about 3 little tiny watch-style batteries. But the gimmick worked on it, and the guy included some batteries, which he nicely took out and put in a separate bag, so they weren't going to, you know, go caustic or nothing sitting in the mail. And it's a wacky little vehicle. It's very small. It doesn't have any wheels or anything, so it just kind of sits there. And the other stupid gimmick is it's got, if you look at the front box image, the tank treads can fold out sideways like hover car style, and then those wings rotate out. And somehow it can fly like that, which it does fly around in the mini comics. And it's quite bizarre. I definitely prefer it just being in the regular tank style to the strange hovering. It's not very aerodynamic.
So it's like a semi-transformer, you know, it can...
Yeah.
I like the way the style of the wings look like almost like World War II era plane wings.
Yeah. They look fine folded down on the sides just as another kind of vent thing. And, you know, it still looks cool with the camo pattern and that. But I got from one of the sellers, I got some of the loose figures. I got that Kenner Terminator. And because I've just got 2 alien figures, the Ripley's got the big flamethrower. She's not going to go in there. So I just put that Kenner Terminator in there. He can stay in that.
Yeah, it's one of those things though as well, like for a vehicle design, it's quite impractical because like anybody can just like especially when you're dealing with xenomorphs, they can just like snatch you straight out of the
or if you had a gun, just shoot the person who's completely exposed.
Yeah, but yeah,
But
look,
yeah,
we can't be
I got this for
applying the real
about the
world.
price of a loose figure, so it was quite cheap, like complete and with the box. And I was like, wow, I wasn't really looking for the vehicles, but it was so cheap. I thought there's no way I can't not get this.
Yeah, and it's a cool looking vehicle in its own right as well.
So here we got Panther Alien, which is this is one of 3 different paint colors of the Night Cougar. So this one's just a total repaint and reuse. It's no new anything on this, unless you want to count, I don't know, the color of the paint's new, but
Color of the paint's new. They actually did go to the effort of making new box art instead of just
yeah,
recoloring
I couldn't tell if it was
existing.
different or not, but it is different there.
And they've also, I noticed, removed the word kamikaze, which maybe someone took offense to, and they've just changed it now to flying attack parasite instead of flying kamikaze parasite.
And the colors are nice. I would happily pick this one up if it was going cheap, you know.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. I think maybe about 2 years ago now, NACA did the Night Cougar and this one in their kind of modern line. They look pretty cool.
You can really see a lot of that
them.
skeletal, bony look shows up really well on it.
Yeah, the design on this Panther alien almost makes it look like the paint almost makes it look like it's a robo alien.
Yeah. And some of the Dark Horse comics would occasionally do kind of brown tinted aliens too, and some of that cover painted art and that reminds me of that as well. So the next one's Snake Alien, which I got this in the mail this week. And I didn't know the gimmick. So the head pieces move and that little mouth. And I thought, surely it's got a bendy wire in the tail. And I went to bend it and it started snapping. And I thought, I better stop bending this pretty quickly. I think it has got wire in there, but I think the plastic's gone brittle. So if I move it now, the plastic just completely snaps. It's still in one piece, but you can see it's like now got a hole in where the tail was, where it didn't have one before. So it's clearly the plastic is aged. So don't go bending your Snake Aliens if you get one. If I'd heated it up, it might have been fine, but I thought, I know it's the gimmick, it's got wire, it'll bend. No, don't do it.
Yeah, that 1992 bend ain't what it used to be.
Well, it comes in the position you see it in here, which it's meant to stand up on its own tail coiled around, and it won't quite balance. And I was trying to move it just a little bit to get to balance so I could get a photo of the damn thing. No, just put it on a stand or something, or attach it to something, because it would not stand up.
Absolutely crazy creature design, though, the Snake Alien.
You can see in the bubble that it's all coiled up and bent in there to actually get in the package. So it's you know.
Oh, it can be done. Like back in the day, you could definitely do it, but just now, yeah.
Yeah, when it was new, it would move fine. But I mean, most in the defense of this design style, lots of toys have used the old bendy wire inside a tail or body gimmick thing. They all eventually wear out and snap. They're not immune to being played with.
Great design though, and I had this one as a kid, and I always loved the snappy mouth gimmick as well. It was very
and the
cool.
heads. It's in some ways it's a little lazy, where it's like we've got a head and just put this tail thing on it. You know, we're not much parts and molding and that as far as body parts, but credit to them for making a completely new head and the gimmicks not used anywhere else. It's a very different head than all the other alien stuff in the line. They could have just used a generic alien head and put it on a whatever body. So at least they did something interesting with it. And now this one I've never seen, and this one does seem a bit of a lazy design to me, because you've just got a head and then the legs are coming straight out of the head. But it is meant to be more like an spider or ant or whatever.
Yeah, it's like a giant. It's an alien's head just stuck on an ant body or something.
And then we've got the looks like the squirting gimmicks back from the gorilla alien.
Pretty sure I did have this one though. It was just there because I do remember I remember the capture claw bits and also the spray. So
I wish I could buy it for $3.99 or $7 from KB. Like the prices, man, so cheap.
Oh, the dream, the absolute dream.
The card art's awesome. Like I wish it looked a bit more like their card art.
Yeah, it looks great in the card art. Yeah, the toy itself, it leaves a lot to be desired, I think. even the name Alien Arachnid, it's not very imaginative. I don't know. Could they not have went with Arachna Alien or Arachnamorph or something like that? I don't know.
Yeah. Got my cat's running around being a pest. Ugh.
Pedro saying hello.
Yeah, he's very noisy this time of night. He just wants constant attention.
He's going to let Daddy know.
I play
yes.
with him with that laser and all that, so I'll do that later. So here we got a Alien versus Predator, so a different package. I do remember seeing this one in the comic book shop. Actually, this was like import because it wasn't. This line was a retail line, of course, but by this point, a lot of the shops had actually dropped it and weren't stocking it anymore. So I do remember seeing this particular pack at the comic shop, strategically placed near Aliens and Predator Dark Horse comics to entice people to buy that.
That's good marketing. Yeah, I love this. Once again, like as they usually do, NACA did a kind of a modern interpretation of this double pack. I actually have it somewhere in storage. But yeah, the Predator crossover was awesome, and it meant a lot to me as well at the time as a kid because I was aware of that, or just at least starting to become aware of that Aliens and Predator crossover with the Dark Horse comics and video games and whatnot. So when the toys started doing it, hey Pedro,
hello, Mark.
oh, you're so handsome, you're gorgeous.
He doesn't like being picked up at all. He always jumps away and claws me.
Well,
yeah,
so
you like this set?
Oh yeah, love this. I never owned this particular set. I always wanted this one because for me, this had the most screen accurate Alien and Predator at the time. But I just never came across it, unfortunately, the double pack. Whereas all the other Predators, the gimmick Predators, I pretty much always came across them, but never came across this double pack.
Yeah, and this is where the line kind of like went off into another line where we had Aliens and Marines at the start. Then we had a second wave of more Marines, more Aliens. And then at some point they dropped the Marines. They're not even on the back of the cross cells anymore, and there were no more new Marines. Later we got some repaint ones. But the Predator line was basically like a new toy line. And they just kind of rolled it into the Aliens, and they started phasing out the older, earlier stuff, and it started being more Predators and more other stuff in there. And of course, later on, we got a couple of other weird variants, Alien stuff that I never saw in stores, and we got some more playset stuff coming up. So one of the new ones, we got the King Alien, which definitely was not in the films.
Yeah, great toy though. Love this toy.
I've got one of these on the way now. Just ordered one this week, like in package and everything, so it should be complete and nice.
It's a fun gimmick, and the gimmicks are exactly as it says on the tin. He can do the squirty water / acid gimmick, but also he's got the two. When you press the button on the back, he can just captures the claws.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to messing about with that. I should have it here in a couple of weeks, hopefully, because it's within Australia, so it shouldn't take too long to get here.
And even though the creature design itself is quite different, it is the idea of the Alien King or the King Alien is reminiscent of a story from a Dark Horse comic as well.
Mm-hmm.
So that's a nice little link there.
I like that it's just a
very
fairly
cool
different looking design again from the other ones. Even taking the name away, just the design is different enough that's interesting and makes me want to get it.
Yeah, nice color scheme as well.
Yeah,
like
and that green. You've got the green on the card back, green on the figure, green on the art.
Yeah, love it.
And then we've got this thing. Definitely not. I haven't seen this one in the comics or movies. The Swarm Alien.
Yeah.
Which is actually like two little figures. It's like one figure with a mini figure that kind of clips onto it.
Very bizarre. Never had
some
this
electronic sounds as well. Or it says attack cry and piercing laser eyes. I haven't seen, you can go on YouTube and look up videos of a lot of these things where people have done, who've got modern collections but have got made videos about the stuff. I haven't seen a video about this or to see the electronic gimmick or anything.
Yeah, I'm imagining these weren't that popular because I do see that you can still find carded examples fairly easily and affordably on the secondary market. I never had any desire. I remember seeing this and thinking this looks a bit weird. It doesn't look.
It is weird. It's got that pearlescent paint, which is nice, but I feel like this on a different color scheme would probably work better.
Yeah. Yeah,
It just looks
it
like
doesn't
some random 90s toy. You might almost looks like a bootleg of the Aliens rather than an official release.
looks more like something that would go with the attacks figure we were looking at earlier. It doesn't look like it's an actual alien. It looks more like it's like a space marine type of gimmick type thing.
It does look, and it's just a very bizarre thing. And and even on the package, you can't actually see most of the figure. You can see the drone up the top, but on the image on the right, we can see it's got a body and legs, but it's hiding most of the figure in the package, which is a bit kind of weird. You usually want to see the figure. So this one is a cool one. Yes. This is that same 2-pack Alien Predator figure, but repainted. This one's in blue.
Yeah, pretty wacky. You'll
and NECA did a version of this as well, the blue one.
Just about to say, yeah, and you'll probably see it in the background of one of my video clips that you play later. It's like a bright blue. Yeah, very bizarre looking, but very cool. It's very cool, I have to say. Unique. But I'd love, once again, I would have loved that all black warrior alien.
Yeah, so that's him again. So that's as you can see, he's definitely the most movie-like there as far as being that nice jet black. And they also did his 12-inch alien, which I don't know which mold, if they blew up that warrior or used parts, but it's different molding. But so I don't know if it's entirely original, if they used any parts. But you just got another movie-like alien. We had a 12-inch alien, and there was also these concept ones here, the prototypes, because they've done, they made a build of them, but these weren't released. That dragonfly alien turns up in one of the mini comics, so you see him in one of the later ones. The egg warrior, I think I don't know, but I think the gimmick is the egg splits in half, and that alien goes inside the egg, which is actually like that other non-Kenner alien toy thing you were showing me earlier.
Yeah, there's that Badger sent me. So that little green egg I showed earlier with the mantis alien. So Badger sent me that, this week, or it arrived this week, I should say. So inside this green egg, came this alien that's he comes totally disassembled. So you put them together. Pretty simple little mechanical design. I just quickly thrown them back together here for today's video, but very 90s, very cool. I have no idea. I haven't asked Badger yet. So Jesse, if you're watching, if you know what the deal is with this, if it's is it a bootleg? Is it like something that's just a wacky unofficial release? Because I have to say, the alien creature design is pretty cool. It reminds me of that it's like the alligator alien almost in that Batman versus Aliens comic, except obviously it's just colored in 90s extreme colors. Here's a little skateboard for him. That he didn't come with, but Badger suggested to make him even more 90s, he needs a skateboard. So here's a skateboard. Yeah, 90s extreme alien.
All he needs now is a little comical partner for the younger kids with an obnoxious high-pitched voice.
Yeah, and a catchy catchphrase.
Yeah. But what do you reckon these prototype ones, would you have got either of, you reckon you would have bought?
I think the dragonfly alien, I think the idea of an alien coming out of a cocoon or an egg is cool. So if they obviously these are the prototype images. I'm sure if they were released, they would have given them a cool paint scheme. So
I'm just looking at the alien with the wings, thinking about that gimmick. It looks like those wings possibly fold up into another egg again. There's a little peg there, and just thinking about that toy you've shown now and the other one, it makes me think it looks like another egg thing.
Yeah, it looks like it would clip together in an egg shape.
Yeah, because you can see his tail and his body. He's only got an upper half torso, and the tail would easily bend around. So I think it does.
Yeah, I'm guessing their whole gimmick was just going to be you plop the egg down, a mechanism activates, and the alien
Yeah.
just pops up or pops out.
Because they've
Pretty
both got the
cool. Would have been
spindly
interesting.
limbs, and this is like tooling that they might have done more like this. But it's interesting. So then we've
Who
got.
knows what might have been?
Sorry.
Oh, who knows what might have been?
Yeah.
With these.
So also what might have been was the mini dropship, which was showing off in the retailer catalog. So just to deconfuse what's on here, because the coloring always throws me off. So the catalog on the right is the evac fighter in the white colors. Below that is the dropship in green. But on the dropship box, it's in white, which makes it very confusing. We're looking at small images trying to research what came out and what didn't. The wings fold up. So it is that same green thing, but this is a mini version of that. So you got that same gimmick of it folds up, but they didn't release this. They also didn't release the big full-size dropship. They didn't release the mini dropship. But later on, it was repurposed and became the VR Troopers Pursuit Jet.
Ah,
And some people have picked this up and repainted this into the alien colors or whatever color they want to put on it, like, green or camo or whatever. I've seen some images online. So apparently it was common enough at some point in the VR Troopers, people have picked it up cheap and repainted it to go with their kind of aliens.
interesting. I did not know it had re-emerged in the VR Trooper line.
I didn't know either. Oh, and apparently one blog I read, which gave a very detailed history of basically just every release in that kind of aliens line, like including international, and where some stuff was kind of not rare, but the line was winding down, so very hard to get, and then subsequently didn't sell, so hard to get now. One blog said they reckon that one full production version, including a box, turned up on eBay years ago. So, but it was never sold in stores. So that was possibly a mock-up for a shows or production or toy fair or whatever. But they reckon there's one out there in existence that's actually fully finished with the box and everything.
Well, if any of our viewers are the lucky owner of such a thing, send it our way, as a goodwill.
Yeah, VR Troopers, Saban. I recognise the Saban, and I went, what the heck's that? And as soon as I went, I thought, I must be one of the various 10 million Power Ranger shows, obviously, because it's got Saban up there.
Oh, I'm familiar with VR Troopers, the show.
Yeah.
I've watched it a few times.
Yeah.
It's a terrible show. We should definitely watch it together.
Was it another dub? Is it one of those ones they redubbed into like English and all that? And yeah.
Yes, yeah.
So, and later as the line went on, they stopped showing the cross cells. Now it's just here's just all the gimmicks on the back.
Yeah, they're really they're losing their creativity here with these later card
just an orange background.
Yeah, give me if you're not going to give me the cross cell, then give me the diorama battle at least. Like, give me something.
Yeah. But it has a side benefit of actually, at least I can see some of the later wave figures, what their gimmicks were, because some of the resolution of other images, I couldn't make out what they were in the later ones.
Like, it's so random. You've got like Mantis Alien and Alien. Like, I love the way Warrior Alien's gimmick is you can pose him.
Pose him for an attack. That made me laugh when I read that. It's like, what's the big gimmick? Pose him, and you can't pose him. If you move, he'll fall over. That's the only pose he can do. He's like a McFarlane statue.
Yeah, he can play dead. So that's his feature pose.
Yeah, he plays dead. But yeah, before we move on, we'll go on to another clip here and check out some more of the wicked Boba Hicks collection. So we're seeing some aliens, and they're going to see some predators, and I think he got some more aliens in here too. So we'll check that out now.
Put that cookie down! Stick around. I'm not shooting on you.
Okay, so here's a look at one of my Predator shelves. And once again, this is all NECA. I'm pretty sure there's not any non-NECA Predators on this shelf, so it's a a real random mix of characters from the movies and the games. So a few notable characters, I suppose, are the jungle demon version of the Predator from the first movie that's like semi-cloaked. We have the unmasked jungle hunter up front here. We have the old elder Predator from the end of Predator 2. We have the Dark Horse comics represented here with Machiko and Cracked Tusk from the Aliens vs Predator comic back in the day. And this whole shelf really is just filled with random Predators from both the movies and the games and the Dark Horse comics. There's far too many to go into a full list of detail. We do see the trophy wall in the background here as well, so I have a couple of xenomorph skulls and a few other bits and pieces there. I see a sneaky little facehugger skulking around back there as well, so yeah, lots of wacky and cool looking Predator designs. And speaking of wacky, moving down a level to another alien.
Come on, kill me! I'm here! Come on, do it now! Kill me!
Another alien shelf here. I have the Aliens Genocide shelf, and this entire shelf is pretty much dedicated to Aliens Genocide. So I have the Red Alien Queen leading her red xenomorph warriors into battle against the more traditional looking xenomorphs. So we see here they are locked in mortal combat, the two xenomorph tribes, with our traditional xenos at the moment are being overwhelmed by these reds, and they're essentially just red repaints of the other xenomorphs. They're even going to repaint up the dog alien from Alien 3 and the big chap from the first film. And in the background there's a couple of carded Kenner inspired NECA tribute figures and an original carded Scorpion alien in the background there as well. So that's my Aliens Genocide shelf. And then finally moving down another level, we have yet another shelf of NECA Predators. Another random collection of characters from the movies, the games, and the comics. Also a few Kenner inspired NECA remakes there as well. We even have Jim Hoppa, who's lying at the feet here of the Predator clan leader, who looks very impressive on his bone throne there, made of a xenomorph queen skull, among other things. So a few very unique designs on this shelf. I do apologise for the poor lighting and camera angle. It's on the floor in an awkward corner of my collection room. So we get what we get. There you go.
Mortal Kombat! I love those Aliens Genocide. That was a really good classic comic. I enjoyed that one.
Yeah, great story. Was a big fan of it.
I've been rereading a heap of those Dark Horse comics the last couple of weeks in preparation for talking about them. Another couple of weeks or so we can talk about them. We'll might have a break, I think, do a WrestleMania or something and come back. There's no rush.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, here we can see the card backs kind of changing again. Like just notice on the left here we've got aliens, marines, vehicles. Like this was the early stuff, first couple of waves. Then on the right, no marines. Marines are gone.
Yeah, it's all about the Predators for the continuing waves going forward.
And
they're going to take up the good guy role.
Lack of vehicles as well. So we didn't, we got 4 vehicles and then we got the 4 that did release plus an unreleased vehicle, but no hint of any new vehicles. And some of the blogs I was reading, they're doing kind of retrospectives from, not just the toy line, but sort of the marketing. They reckon Kenner kind of pivoted, realized that just the alien toys were selling much better than the human figures. They went, okay, get these out of here. We'll crap out some more aliens and some more predators. And this leads us into Hive Wars, which was like another sub-branding or another line again following on from these aliens.
Yeah, I never saw any Hive Wars branded stuff.
Yeah, I didn't see it on the shelves. I'd say they came out in America, and I don't know if they made it. I don't know if they came out internationally or not. But probably some got dumped in Europe when they didn't sell, I would guess, like a lot of stuff.
Yeah, I see them online sometimes with the Hive Wars branding, but I've never come across them personally. I do like the look of some of those designs, though.
A few repaints, some new stuff. It's a real mixed bag of stuff. They've got the diorama back again, though. They've done a bit of effort here and some ecto slime stuff on there.
I like that. Like the Hive Warrior alien actually looks more like, once again, your traditional movie Xenomorph.
Yes.
I like the way that acid alien is like colored totally red, like those genocide aliens we were looking at a second ago.
And you can see, we've gone from, we're not bothering showing Marines, we're not bothering other stuff too. Like this looks like, almost like a whole new line sort of thing again. And we've got the diorama, and we're putting a bit more effort in.
Yeah, like the only human character they had there was like Hicks, and he's a cyborg now.
Yeah,
so
he's quite strange. We'll get a better look at him coming up in a couple of slides. And we got this humanoid who's, I presume he's a robot, because what else is he? He looks like one of those Prometheus guys with that chalk white face.
Crazy looking design. Integer 3.
And just what a weird name. And it's like, instead of having another Marine or a recognizable new version of Bishop or something, we get this guy. I don't think he's a bad figure. He just seems like a very strange choice. I do love the card art though. It's that purple alien hive walls stuff around. Looks awesome.
Yeah,
and they've just slapped it over the top of the old design that's still got the same old alien in the corner.
Yeah, bizarre figure, bizarre idea for a character. I don't even know what he's supposed to be. Like, I'm guessing he's an android, obviously, but like I don't know what his role is.
He's very muscular looking, and he looks like he's wearing some kind of suit or armor, and so I don't know what the concept is. It's quite strange. But then we get the diorama on the back here, but no cross sales again, showing off individual figures or packages or anything. So we got Hicks. It doesn't look terribly recognizable here.
No, he's got
an
iPad.
Cyborg dog.
He's the last surviving space marine,
He's got a cyborg dog now, so everyone needs a sidekick in the future. And a blaster gun that doesn't look like much of anything. Look, it could be a piece of Lego for all I know. It doesn't look like any kind of weapon.
I wonder what the name of the cyborg dog is.
Don't know much.
A boy or a girl?
Robo dog. We've got a warrior
predator. Yeah, very cool looking predator.
Face mask. I think I've got that one or one of the repaints on the way in the mail as a loose figure for $10 or so. There's one of them coming along, because there's quite a few repaint stuff in this subline here. So we've got the Night Recon Predator, who was very strange, because we've got normal proportions Predator, weird blue skin, but otherwise normal. This guy with the stretchy anime cartoon face is quite bizarre.
Crazy looking. That acid alien looks really cool, though.
Yeah, he looks awesome. And he's got super spindly long limbs. There's definitely more movie Giga design influence coming in there. And even the paint job looks really good. There's lots of little sculpted lines and all that. And then we got this large Hicks versus Alien 2-pack. I don't know. I think there's around 10-inch, something like that. That's another one of these one-off ones. And you can see it says limited edition KB toys of 25,000.
He has an actual painted pulse rifle. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, and it looks, I don't know if it's got cloth clothing or not. They're clearly going for the old large-scale G.I. Joe sort of look with this.
This is brilliant. I didn't even know this was something that existed.
Yeah, I didn't know either. But you can see it's very nice little details and the helmet and everything. It's definitely going more movie style than cartoon style there. But it's pretty cool set. Here we go. This is and this is this whole wave here is just straight repaints. So Hive Wars had some new sculpts as well as repaints. Alien versus Marine, these are KB Toys repacks of previous figures, but now we've got them in different colors. So we've got O'Malley and Drake here wearing green, although I actually kind of like Drake in the earlier version where in the kind of tan camo he looked quite cool. Queen Facehuggers in there and that tan brown looks nice. And even the Alien Arachnid looks a bit better in that silver black deco.
He does look better, much nicer.
But I don't mind this as a repack. These are decent for like 2 packs to actually get them together. And because, you know, the Marines didn't sell too well, so it makes sense to make you buy if you just want the Alien, you're getting a Marine. But I would happily pick up any of these 2 packs. I think these are a really good reuse of the line with decent repaints. Hudson and green. Hicks, now he's wearing like green camo.
Scorpion Alien looks cool in that kind of silver.
And well. King Alien's repainted as well. Now he's in dark, no green in there. He's in dark colors. So they're all much more movie inspired, sort of fleshy tones, or more, you know, comic booky type style, and not so much cartoon style. But yeah, I like these repacks.
The sticker celebrating the sticker is celebrating the 10th anniversary.
Yeah, 10th anniversary. You got 86 to 96.
That's awesome.
And even the weapons too. Now they've got black, grey, green, and there's no sort of day glow color. The most bright thing now is the packaging up the top with the purple, which you could say is just a, you know, camera or lens flared lighting. Then we got Vasquez with the Night Cougar, and she's in green now, but they put the sticker right over her so you can't see her in the package too well.
Would have loved that set.
Yeah.
Would have absolutely
loved it. Fortunately, someone on eBay had a mixed lot, so we can see some of these guys out of the packaging. And I mean, that's the old Apone there, but you can see repainted green guys in there. And is Vasquez in there or not? I think no. Oh yeah, Vasquez is second from the left. She's got that stupid thing she's holding up, which is now you can't see her head, but she's in green now, so I think she looks cool. I wouldn't display us that crazy missile thing, though. I would be putting that away and give her something else.
Yeah, quite the little lineup here. I'd love to have some of these greener variations of that original run of characters.
Yeah, they're quite nice in these other decos.
The guy, I don't think, though, he may not have owned this stuff originally because he's got some weapons mixed up here. He's got Bishop holding Hicks's weapon, and he's got Hicks holding Ripley's flamethrower.
Yeah, I think there's like a toy seller on eBay who's like made the effort to show all these in a photo here. Is good.
Yeah, I like that look. That flash colored Queen face hugger. It's pretty cool.
Yeah, it's cool. And it looks like no longer transparent plastic. I mean, it might be underneath, but now it's painted solidly all through. It looks pretty cool. And here we got Boba Hicks.
Oh, Boba Hicks variant.
Profiling.
Not Hive Wars Hicks.
A cyborg and might have joined up Nazi Rangers for a bit.
An eye patch and a backwards baseball cap. Like, come on.
Yeah.
What the hell?
And I can't tell if it's a weird molding or has he got some kind of mustache or something on there. He's got something on his lip. I don't know if it's a bit of schmutz or what's going on there.
Crazy,
and he appears to have a gimmick in his chest. Like, it looks like he's got a little dial that rotates in his chest.
Yeah, wacky. I do love, though, that other version in the more Marine camo. He looks like a tank commander or something. That last version of Hicks.
But it's interesting to see anyway the different. I mean, the head is you've got repaint figure and then totally different cyborg one. The head is completely different, and the face looks nothing like the other one. So it makes you wonder: was he meant to be that character, or they just called him that when they put this one out? Because it's a bit strange.
Crazy. Maybe they just needed to use the name again to keep
the name and the trademark and whatever. Because it easily could have just been another completely different character by the look of it. And of course, we had the mini comics pack in and the earlier toys, which I did manage to find these on a dodgy torrent this week and read all of them in a row. They're quite short, but the art's quite decent in them. But it's definitely the cartoony colours.
We were mentioning this before we started recording today. They really, really wish they'd just done a nice little omnibus of all these together.
Yeah,
little pocket
there's
book
not much. There's that altogether it makes up probably one whole regular comic. There's not that many pages, but the art's decent, and I don't know, they're a bit of fun. So I've got a couple of images here, but I've also got another one I've got loaded separately. Hello. And most of it's just they're running around, they're fighting aliens and clearing out planets and whatever. But a couple of bits really kind of gave me pause, like even for the comic and the toy line, I was like, really? When I saw these, there was this bit here. We've got don't sweat it, Bishop. A bug is a bug. And this is Hicks again. And he's indoors in the alien hive. He's got this crazy big missile launcher thing. What are you going to do with that in close quarters? There's one thing a space marine can handle is bugs. I'll get you with the megaton missile launch. He's firing it point blank at the alien, which is going to explode acid everywhere. Not to mention the concussive force of this explosive going off is probably going to deafen and kill or knock them all out. It's just crazy. And then in another comic, the ATAX one, the guy with the bug armor, he turns up on this planet and they've never met him. And it's their first encounter. And he's like, all right, hold my beer. I'm going to fight all these aliens. You guys can just take lunch. And he goes off and fights a bunch of aliens, beats them. And then when he comes back, we get them going, awesome. He is the best. That was incredible. Works every time. My bio boost armor. The bugs can't tell me from on their own. I'm a maximum surprise. It's like, oh my God, what a douchebag. Yeah. Just so over the top. Like, I just love it.
Yeah, I love it too. I have to say, ridiculousness, but it's my type of ridiculousness.
It's like if that was the movie, he would have died in 10 seconds.
Oh, big time, yeah.
Especially if you go, oh, I'm the best. Like, no, you're going to be the worst.
I'm going to put on my clunky alien suit and fool them all.
You're going to put on your David Bowie bloody moon boots and trip over and break your neck before you forget the aliens.
Yeah, crazy stuff. Some nice panels here with the mantis aliens attacking them.
Yeah.
Whole swarm of them. Yeah, you could see you can get away with killing the aliens in these little mini comics, but I just have my doubts that they could ever show this in the cartoon.
Splatter in some of the pages. It's not super explicit, but it's it's violent, like comic violence.
But you have to make the assumption for some of these stories anyway that colonists are getting impregnated and
they have to be for aliens to exist.
And again, I suppose maybe
screen if they did a show.
Yeah, the aliens are definitely impregnating local wildlife to get these like gorilla variants and bull variants and all that stuff.
Yeah, here we go. Thank God the colors are safe. It looks like the last stop, but then wow.
Yeah, I'd like to get
fun. There we go. There's some colonists getting wrapped up with looks like a face hugger there. Or possibly it's that queen one because it's gigantic.
Yeah, they're about to get got.
Yeah, it says giant face huggers, they call them. They don't call it the queen one there. And then that's the end of that particular comic. To be continued in Space Marines number 11 with the giant facehugger figure.
Yeah, well, if you want to know what happens, you better buy that figure or you'll never know.
You know what I could do is I could make a bonus video where I can take those dodgy comic scans I found this week and put them all into slides and play them in order as a video. Then if someone wants to check out what happens, I might do that next week or so. Because they're not something they haven't reprinted them anywhere ever, so they're just going to disappear at some point. So you won't be able to look them up no more.
Oh, yeah.
But yeah, we're heading into the final parts of the show here. And something I definitely never saw in stores was this Queen Hive alien playset. And this is a pretty epic thing because it's an entirely new sculpt. It's massive. It dwarfs all the other figures in the line. It's as big as the biggest vehicle, and we get like a slime gimmick, and it comes with its like egg sack and like a base. So we've got this base here, and the main difference is instead of eggs coming out, just slime comes out of the out of the egg sack.
And instead of facehuggers coming out of eggs, you get a crazy looking sausage alien coming out of an egg.
Sausage alien. Oh yes, that's definitely the most phallic looking thing of the line. It's ridiculous, that little accessory.
Yeah, what a playset though. I wonder, was it ever possible to buy the ooze separately?
I've never seen it, or I've got no idea. Hello. And one of these has popped up on eBay Australia in the last couple of weeks, like complete with the box and everything. So if it's still there next month, I might be able to get it, but we'll wait and see. But it's a wicked version of Alien Queen. It's more almost gorgeous. Not as detailed and big as the big NECA one, but we're heading in that direction, you know, at least 10 years before that thing ever existed.
Yeah, if I'd had this Queen back in the day and that Warrior Alien from the 2-pack, I would have been delighted with the on-screen accuracy.
There would have been one happy android.
Oh, yeah.
But yeah, it's pretty awesome. I love the box too. Like the box art's wicked. I'm not sure if that's at Integer 3 or what that's meant to be.
It was like actually just, I was thinking that myself. It probably is him, and I never knew who that was until
I'm just looking at the color because I don't know what the heck it is.
Yeah, it probably is that dude. Well, he didn't
you
last
use
long.
The ooze again and again, or if it runs out, get your Masters or get your Ninja Turtles ooze.
Yeah, I'd love to know whether the Alien ooze was ever sold, like on the shelf separately.
Yeah, that's something I can look up, find out for next time's adventure. I think. Oh, why is it going backwards? I'm hitting the wrong arrow key. That's why. There we go. You can see the rear of the box here, the ooze gimmick, or the egg sack. So don't stand near the egg sack, or you'll fall and break your back, and ooze will go all over you.
This is how you get impregnated, and now you know you just got oozed on.
Is this the real inspiration for Slims McKenzie in that Futurama episode, the slime here? Because this is like basically what they had in that.
It's a wacky idea for a playset. They just wanted something goopy and horrible.
Yeah.
The phallic chest burster though is still the weirdest thing. The way it's even red, just popping out of an egg, it's like it's so weird.
And even the egg sac is like not going horizontal, it's going vertical, and it looks like some kind of knobbly poo or something. It's like it's definitely not a cartoon friendly. This is going more like movie black and dark and demented.
It's just crazy. Like, and the Alien Queen just leans against it and holds the captive in place with her tail.
She's got the right amount of arms now too.
Yeah, very screen accurate version of the Alien Queen for the time.
Like got the bendy knees and the extended head and everything. So pretty impressive. Like if it's I spent way too much on toys and shit the last month, so otherwise I'd be grabbing one of these now. Because if it's still there next month, I'm thinking I'm gonna hopefully get it, but wait and see. So we've got one more video clip coming up, but like that's the end of the Kenner Alien slides, and this is the that Tiger game showing all the when you put the battery in or out and it shows all the graphics flash up, showing like every possible graphics thing in the overlays. I thought it would be a cool one to chuck in there. You can see it's got the Queen Alien up the top and then other warriors in the foreground.
All the different weapons for your playable character as well there.
Yeah. But the little graphics are quite nice. These Tiger games are usually fairly horrible. Some of them were fun, some of them were quite bad, but the design of it anyway looks quite nice. But we've got another video to play, but like basically we want to wrap up and we'll say this is quite the end of the show, but I'm going to play another awesome video from Epic Badger because it goes it's a longer one, so it's like a bonus clip I'm going to chuck on the end here. And it gets into some of the micro scale toys, which are fairly cool because I think I saw some of that stuff back in the stores in the day because you'd see like Star Trek Micro Machines and other stuff. And so a couple of things I think I saw in the stores, but I certainly never owned them or had them out of package. And that's kind of bad. Just Niche is really into some of the smaller scale stuff. So it's very kind of him to make a video clip for us, which I'm going to play in here. But we'll say our goodbyes here, and then I'm going to play the clip because it goes for about 10 minutes, so you can sit back and chill and watch the full thing.
Awesome. Well, look, take care, everybody. Hope you enjoyed our journey looking at the Kenner Aliens toys. And yeah, I'm looking forward now to sitting back and watching some of Badger's awesome footage.
Yeah, it's a really cool video. I was watching earlier today. So we'll play it here, and I'll check with him during the week. If it's okay with him, I might upload it also as a separate video to YouTube because, it's part of the show, and he did it for this. But it's such a large file, I have to go present rather than upload, so it might downscale the image quality a bit. And it's a really nicely shot video. So I'll check with him during the week if I can upload it also as a bonus separate video, because then I'll get the full resolution directly on YouTube. So I'll check with him later in the week. But yeah, thanks for tuning in. This has been like one of our biggest bumper shows, but I might as well go through the whole line because why not? And then we can come back another time and talk about more movies, more games, more other stuff. We're going to do Alien Predator 90s video games next week, and then we'll have a break and probably do some, I don't know, WrestleMania or something else.
Yeah, looking forward to it. Great times. Okay, folks, take care and enjoy Badger's awesome footage.
Yep, stay tuned, check it out. It's a wicked video. I'm going to play the full thing now, and I'll catch you guys next time.
Hello everyone, I hope you are having a great time today watching the Boba Joe show. The fellas are having a great time talking about Kenner's Alien and Predator lines. I did not own any of those Alien or Predator figures from Kenner. I did have some Kenner toys. I was collecting Jurassic Park and Batman Returns and all that kind of stuff. But no Kenner Aliens or Predator. What I did collect, however, is Micro Machines and Action Fleet scaled vehicles and playsets. And Galoob, in 1997, did release some toys from quite a few properties, actually. Aliens, obviously, but also Terminator, Starship Troopers, Predator. And that's what I'm going to talk about here. I'm obviously not going to bring out all the plastic, but I do have trade catalogs that I can show in a second. But just to help clarify a few things before I talk about the subject, when I talk about micro machines, I'm referring to, your standard small vehicles and little half-inch figures, no posability. Whereas Action Fleet scaled vehicles and figures are these 1-inch figures with minor articulation, usually in the arms and the legs. And then vehicles, they're obviously much larger and can accommodate the 1-inch figures. That started with the Star Wars line, and then obviously progressed to other properties. I just thought we'd start with the APC here. I love the Marine APC. It's a great vehicle, a great futuristic design, but it has elements of real-world technology, and it feels like something that could exist here. I just love the vehicle. Obviously, it has a sliding door, but it also has a lid that can open up, because obviously you want to play with it. The one downside is, you can see back there are seats, but there's no way to access those seats. It's too difficult to squeeze a figure in there by, with your hands, even as a kid. So the APC part of it is a bit of a downside, but everything else is so gorgeous. Lots of detail. Even down to the little alien that got squished. And then, of course, with the APC, you've got Hudson, this skull and crossbones, and you have an alien, because you have to have one of these. Otherwise, it wouldn't be fun. And yeah, it's a great line. It's quite large once you start looking into it, and that's what they're not gonna stand. I'm gonna move all this aside, And I'm going to show you a few things from my collection of catalogs. So this is an insert from Galoob for 97. This is actually the back of the Starship Troopers catalog, just teasing the alien stuff. You can see there's 3 vehicles. There's the APC, you got the Narcissus, and then you got the dropship. I think it was the Cheyenne dropship. I don't remember why, but I think that's what it was called. They each come with 2 figures. And then if I show you a more detailed one, so this is the catalog for Aliens and Predators for Action Fleet. Open it up here, you'll see the same 3 vehicles that you just saw. Something I find funny, it does list that Hudson in the Alien comes with the APC, but it actually shows Hicks in the picture. And then it shows Hudson with his skull and crossbones in the picture where it says Hicks and Corporal Pharaoh. So they just got the 2 figures swapped in the images. But you can see here the Narcissist, it actually has a pod that opens up for Ripley to sleep in. The dropship can open up and the wings can expand. Interestingly, there's also this playset that never was made. Or, yeah, it was never made, it was never sold. Obviously it was made because there's a kid playing with one. He's probably the only kid that's ever touched it. It just never went to retail, which is really unfortunate. And I can tell from the hinges that this playset is meant to fold up. So this side would fold up, that side would fold up, and then you could carry it like the Star Wars Action Fleet playsets. Oh, I wish that set was made. Would have came with Ripley, with the power loader. Oh, that's so awesome. And on the back, you can actually see the Predator dropship. This was the only large vehicle made for the Predator line. Everything else was just figures and micro machines. So this is the only Action Fleet scaled vehicle for Predators. Whereas Aliens got 3 vehicles and a playset that never was made. I can also show you here. So one thing Galoob did, Galoob had a lot of properties. One thing that Galoob tried to do was, obviously, if you're making these playsets and vehicles for Action Fleet scale, with these larger figures, you're going to be kind of bummed if you only have Hicks, and then you get the other vehicle and you have, Hudson, and you get the other vehicle and you have Hicks. Just 2 figures? How do you pack more figures? Well, in Star Wars, they would make, or they sold, basically battle packs with a bunch of different figures. However, these lines are much smaller. You make 1 battle pack of Predator with their Action Fleet figures, that's it. You just make 1 pack. Star Wars has a very expansive character library. These other properties don't. So what they did was they would actually package 2 or 3 figures with a couple micro machine vehicles. So a couple of these with a couple of Action Fleet figures. And that's how they were able to sell multiple packs to get more product out for each line. And you can see here Predator, you have a whole bunch of different characters here, including, you can't tell from this image, but somebody is in the heat view mode. And then Aliens did the same thing. If you wanted Ripley without the vehicle, you get packed with Ripley, 1 other character, and 2 or 3 micro machines. He's got the face hugger on him. They did not do that for 007 or for Indiana Jones. They just made the standard micro machine half-inch figures with those vehicles. And I thought I'd show this other catalog because this one shows off a couple of head play sets. These are the heads that you could put on a shelf and then you fold them down and they're play sets. There's one for Aliens, one for Predator, and then one for Terminator because they had their own line. So again, you could buy the playset, and if you wanted more figures, 1-inch figures, you'd buy the boxes that had a couple of figures and a couple of Micro Machine vehicles, and you have to buy a couple of those boxes to have the complete collection. So that is my short and sweet discussion of Galoob and their Aliens and Predator toy lines. I think they're super neat. I love the detail. You can even see the flashlight over the shoulder, down to the ammo on his vest. Great detail on these figures. So yeah, thanks for watching. Thanks to John and Mark for letting me jump onto here, and enjoy the rest of the episode.